Right. Welcome, everyone. This is a special edition of the Fantasy Six Pack Hour. My name is Joe Bond, fan of FantasySixPack.net. My usual co-host is not here tonight, but he might be making a special surprise visit later. But with me, my producer is co-hosting tonight, Jeff Hicks. How's it going, man?
Oh, we're here. Everything's going perfect the way that we planned it. So
yeah, my Scott Fishbowl draft is it's going exactly as I expected it to. What division are you in, and how's it been going for you so far, man?
So I am in the Mac Miller division. It was my first choice, and I got the number 10 spot, which is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, I want it later.
Yeah, it's worked. The
reversal is so key, man.
That's part of it, and I wasn't sure if it was going to flip back at any point, but at that point, I'm not going to try to mess with it and mess up how Scott has everything set up at that point. But, we're through 8 rounds, essentially. We're on the turn 8 going into 9 in our division, and I'm missing out on a few players that I was hoping were going to fall, but there's been a lot of just diverse setups with these people.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So before I ramble on and totally forget what the whole purpose of this damn show, right? So we're here talking Scott Fishbowl. It's the big hot topic if you follow it on Twitter. Hopefully you got in. 1,900 people. It's a huge thing. Kudos to Scott for putting this on. He's been doing it for years. I've been in it since Scott Fish 480, I think. So actually, when he was still counting participants is when I was in it. The next year he was like, nah, screw that, I'm not counting anymore. Just put numbers. Did I just cut out completely?
You lost yourself.
I don't know what's going on. My mic doesn't even work tonight, so I'm sorry, guys. I don't even literally need this. It's just here for show. But yeah, so anyway, the purpose of this show, we did it last year, is to raise money for multiple sclerosis. I unfortunately was diagnosed with it back in 2013. It's not something I try to remember, but I've been pretty lucky with it. The first couple of years sucked balls. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of the medication that they were trying to give me just wasn't working for me. I had numbness in the legs. I was dizzy. I had optic neuritis, which if nobody has ever had that, please never get that. It sucks. If you've ever seen the old black and white TVs when you're switching the dial and the black and white, you get to the black and white channel, you get to channel 6 and there's nothing there. Half of my vision from here down was all fuzzy. It was freaky. That one was the worst. But I hope nobody ever gets it, but it's just unfortunate. There's too many people with it, and there's probably people that are misdiagnosed, honestly, with other things that have it and don't even realize it. So we're trying to raise money. The link is fantasysixpack.net/donate. It's in the ticker down here at the bottom, so please donate, even if it's $1, 50 cents, whatever. Every little bit helps, guys. We're trying to find a cure for this. Research has been great, and the medicine that they've gotten this has significantly gotten better. I hear stories about people that, were diagnosed 10, 15, 20 or longer ago, and there was just nothing. Mm-hmm. And, they're basically, they're at some level kind of debilitated. Things they just can't function the way that, you should be able to. And it's unfortunate. And thankfully, medicine has come a long way. I switched over to infusions after the oral medications weren't working, and I've been fantastic ever since. There's been a little hiccups here and there. Sometimes I think it's just, maybe I pulled a muscle, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it might be an MS thing, but I just kind of work through it. But who knows? But I've been sort of fortunate, which is weird to say with MS, but I've been fortunate. So thankfully the medicine has come a long way, but we need to do more. We need to find a cure. We need to get rid of this because it affects way too many people. I'm looking up stats. There's 2.8 million people with MS right now. That's a lot, man. And so it's the numbers are staggering, and I get it. There's tons of other things that you can donate to, and if you want to do that, by all means, go do that. Donate to whatever you feel like you want to donate to, but if you feel like you want to donate to MS, that's what we're here for, and to have some fun. So,
well, Joe, I think we can. I speak for everybody tuning in, and that's joined our show or works at Fantasy Six Pack, and saying we're happy that it's working for you. We know it doesn't exactly. It doesn't end as well for a lot of people, unfortunately. So, I think we're just all glad that, at least in this case, you may be the only person some of us know with MS. So. It matters. It matters to have one person being taken care of with that.
I'm literally the only person I know with MS. Like, I don't know any other people with it. Like, I've heard people tell me that, like, their aunts or their cousins or parents have had it or something like that. And so, like, I'm kind of like one person removed from it, I guess. And so, but there's a lot of stories. Like, when I was posting this on Twitter, just lots of people were coming out like, "Oh, thank you for doing this." And I've been touched by MS because of such and such. And yeah, man, that hits me hard. It really does. It touches me. So I'm glad to be able to help. We've already raised. I got a few more contributions just a few minutes ago. So I'd have to look it up, but I believe we are well over 600 now. So I'm looking to do more. Obviously, last year we did 450. The first year we did it. It was a very last minute thing that we did. Actually, we're 736. Holy cow. So, yeah, this went way up. So, yeah, fantastic. Keep it coming, guys. I would love to raise a whole ton of money for this and send it to the MS Society's way. They definitely know it's coming. I talked to them, so they're looking forward to it. But my team, let's get to it.
We need to hear about your team, Mr.
Yeah, my team.
So palms are sweaty over there.
So I'm in. I'm up next. Actually, so I'm in the boys to men division. Boys to men. Right? Hell yeah! I did that last night too on the podathon. I got a good laugh there too. Glad it works. So anyway, Anyway, so yeah, I started out a way I didn't ever think I would. Obviously, I hoped. Pipe dream, right? I hoped like a Kelsey or a McCaffrey would fall to me, or it almost happened. Josh Allen fell to me. He got picked right before me, and had that happen, scooped it up right away, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't happen, and I was looking at the board. I could have taken Lamar, could have taken Russ, could have taken Herbert, I could have taken Henry or Kamara type of guys. I pivoted, man. I've never done this with the tight end. The tight end heavy draft, or the tight end heavy scoring, I went Darren Waller. He scored like 160 points over the next tight end last year. Kelsey was way above him too, which was insane.
Oh, of course.
Which is why he went 1-3. And Daniel Dopp, he'll be on the show later from ESPN. He kudos to him, man. Like that was the pick, man. Honestly, you could argue 1-1 for him. Like he's that the value you get from him is just crazy. But so Whit Waller came back around to Brady, which I was hoping maybe one of the Herberts or stuff like that with the rushing upside would fall back to me, but they didn't. If Kamara was there, that would have been kind of an iffy pick. But I kind of coin flip between him, Brady, and Tannehill. I went Brady just because he's gonna pass a ton. Like Brady just loves to audible out, it feels like a million times, and just do it. So I went there, and then I came back around and took Eckler on that reversal there. So I got a really good pass catching running back, which is going to score a lot of first downs because of it, and the first down 0.5 per first down is fantastic. So we got that, and I'm up next. So I'm kind of debating. I don't want to give it away because I don't want if Jared's listening from Rasball, I don't want to give it away. But there's a couple of guys, you guys know in the Slack channel on Fantasy Six Pack here who I'm debating between. But I'm kind of like, do I go QB because they're kind of slim right now, and the running backs are getting kind of slim, like those top end guys. There's a ton of receivers left. Only like 4 have been picked. It's kind of crazy. The scoring just in this league just doesn't get QBs or just doesn't get receivers picked early. I am surprised actually that Justin Jefferson was like one of the top 4 or 5 that got picked, and fantastic pick. But I've seen him go a lot later. So, but I love him this year. So Dan Getchell, the fan in my league, he took him. And right after Calvin Ridley and Diggs, and I think Devontae Adams went a few of that early and Hill. So there's been 5. Sorry, there's been 5. But yeah, again, like these leagues are so crazy, man. Like, did you even have a strategy going in, or was this kind of like you're just gonna figure out what the board says and just do it?
Yeah, that was it. It felt kind of what I expected, so that's why I started with Dak Prescott at the 110. I mean, it was either going to be him or I think Russell Wilson that fell to me because he went right before. So I would have gone with either. I actually had both of them last year in Scott Fishbowl 10, but it was more on the wraparound. At my turn in the second round, I ended up going with Tyreek Hill just because I didn't feel as strongly about like Saquon Barkley and Alvin Kamara who were there. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to go QB that early. So I didn't actually take another quarterback till the 4th with Kirk Cousins. So I actually drafted the 1st and 3rd receivers to go in my league with Hill and Calvin Ridley.
I think the person that won last year went like QB and receiver heavy, and it worked out obviously well for them. And you can do that, like, but you've got to hit on some late running backs for that to happen, and it's so tough because the running backs just they fly. They fly out the board, so you've just got to hit on those late guys. But we are on a schedule, so let's bring in our first guest here. So we've got David Mendelson, we've got JL Garofalo, and we've got Jeff Trella, Fantasy Six Pack here. Welcome, fellas. Thanks for coming on. Let's go around the room, and you guys can introduce yourselves. David, we'll start with you, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. Pumped to talk with you guys tonight. You can find me at DMendio2 on Twitter. I live, breathe, sleep everything triple play fantasy. That's what we do. And all 3 sports: baseball, basketball, football, fantasy content, all that good stuff.
Good stuff, man. JL, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Pretty good.
I also live, breathe everything triple play fantasy, just because I'm a big fan.
Good stuff, man.
Likewise for you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm JL. I'm a co-founder of Front Yard Fantasy. We got a daily live stream. We take like popular game shows or Jackbox games, and we make them fantasy related. So it's always a good time. It's every weekday at 3.
Awesome, man. And Jeff, Fantasy Six Pack host here, but you got your own thing going on too. What's going on, man?
I guess I'm the homeboy here, but
it's all good.
You got lost.
I write for Fantasy Six Pack, mostly for baseball, and my podcast,
Great work.
Back Attack Fantasy Podcast, which you could see right here on this channel, right here, every Wednesday 9 o'clock.
Fantastic.
My first Scott Fishbowl, man. I'm stoked to be here.
Oh, that's awesome, man! Your first one. How many of you guys been in? David, JL, is this your first 2?
It's my first time.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah.
Wow. Good way to start the show then.
That's fantastic. How excited were you guys, David, where you got that invite in your inbox? Like, I remember the first time I got mine, it was just like, oh my God. Like, I was shaking, because I was like a nobody. Like, literally nobody knew who I was back then.
Yeah, I definitely, like, when I saw the email, I had to, like, triple check that it was addressed to me. And, I was blown away because you hear how, like, it's like a legendary thing. Like, you hear like Scott Fishbowl, like Matthew Berry's in it, and you know, CBS guys are in it, and you're like, oh my God, like these are the fantasy analysts. Like these are the guys that we all
literally
listen to.
Everybody's in it. It's awesome. Yeah.
And you're like, I'm part of it. So I was just definitely blown away, and I'm so pumped. And the hype leading up to it was really exciting, and now that we're actually doing it, now it's like stressful because it's not going how you thought it would go.
It never will. It never will. Unless you're the random dude last night who got Kyler Murray and Josh Allen. What nonsense is that? Like, he paid his league mates. I promise you. There's no way that's supposed to happen.
Too many to pay.
That's just not supposed to happen, man.
We're not paying it to the wrong thing.
Yeah. So, JL, what league are you in, and how's your draft been going so far?
I'm in the David Bowie League, or division. Sorry.
That's fine.
It's been going. Yeah, it's been going well. I'm playing with a longtime role model, James Erday. So that's hype.
Nice.
That's been pretty
cool.
Fun. And yeah, the draft's been going great so far. Mahomes fell to me in the 4th spot, which I was not expecting at all.
That's a good one.
Very happy with that. And then I followed that up with Tyreek Hill, so I got that nice stack. And then I got Mixon and Pitts, and now I'm on the clock. So I was hoping you guys.
I am too, actually. That's funny. We can do 2 picks here, but I'll let you get the limelight here first.
All right.
So what you got?
So as I said, my team's Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Mixon, and Pitts. And so the best running back still on the board is Miles Sanders. Now, I'm a little concerned about Miles Sanders this year. I was hoping someone would take him before me so I didn't have to make this decision.
I'm in the same boat, man. I'm in the same boat.
Trey Lance is here. There's still some good QB talent and tons of wide receiver talent. So I'm curious, would you guys take Trey Lance or Miles Sanders here at the where am I at? The 5-9.
Who's your other quarterback, or do you have?
Mahomes.
How many do you have? You have just Mahomes.
Well, you could take a
Trey Lance is the quarterback you're looking at? Like, I mean, I don't know if he's really going to start the whole year. That'd be my problem.
So there's two Trey Lance.
Justin Fields there.
Justin Fields is still there. Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with him either.
Yeah.
No, but if you're talking,
hey,
that's why I kind of like. He already has Mahomes.
Kind of like Carr. As crazy as it sounds, he's actually decent. If you want to go safe, he's an efficient quarterback. So you get dinged for interceptions and incompletions. You know, he's a dink and dunk guy, right? He's got a safety valve in Waller, who I love. Thank you. And I love him even more now because I took him. So he's kind of the safe option. If you want to go quarterback, I don't hate taking Carr here, honestly.
But
he's a guy. I'm in the same boat as you, honestly. I'm looking at like a Sanders and a Carr, and I think I can look at like I'd have to look again, but there's a couple other like safer options, and they're like you want to go upside, but it's like, man, the floor for some of those other guys are so bad. It's like I don't know if I can do it, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
What about Chris Carson or Javonte Williams or either of those guys there? I like Javonte Williams a lot. He went in round 5 in my league. I was trying to get him come back to me at the turn, and he went pretty early, round 5. So, I mean, he could probably go soon if he's still there. He's going to obviously most likely be the main guy in Denver sooner rather than later. Could give you a lot of volume.
Yeah, very true. Chris Carson did go earlier in this round, but yeah, on the Lance thing, I think Jeff was about to touch on this, but I feel like you're playing against 2,000 people. Can you play it safe? Like, is that a good strategy, or do you have to go upside?
Well, he has. Well, that is the upside because he's an unknown quantity, and you already have arguably one of the better quarterbacks, in the scoring format. So if you're going to do that, there's still, opportunity for a third or fourth quarterback. If you want to pick one up, in the next couple rounds, and then you take another dart throw on a Tyrod Taylor or Davis Mills with a mid to late teens pick, but just those plays that so you have other quarterbacks, but. Yeah, I mean, if that's going to be your high upside pick, and then you get a safe floor person like Derek Carr, or even like Daniel Jones, who has the rushing upside to
Yeah, I like him too a little bit.
There are worse ways to go about quarterback.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, guys. You're talking about the upside. I'm not only in the Scott Fish Bowl. I'm in the Scott Fish division. I'm in League One, and I picked 10, and Scott is on the turn at 12. And he actually, on the 4-5 turn he went with Lance and Fields, and he already had Herbert on his team. So, and I believe in the 3rd he took Pitts, and he has ATN on his team.
Damn,
so
you guys are
talking about for the
That's
benches
upside.
upside. I mean, the guy that runs the whole damn thing is doing nothing but
Scott
for
purposely
upside.
does that because he went 3 tight ends, I think, last year or 2 years ago when he went tight end premium. This is not uncommon for him because he said if he's going to win it, he's going to do it in a blaze of glory.
His way, man. So, absolutely.
And he wrote the scoring system, so.
Yeah, it's that's a tough pick. I'm in the same boat, man. I'm looking at where am I at here? So I'm looking at either. Oh dang it! I hate MFL. So yeah, I'm looking at a Miles Sanders. I can pick Michael Thomas, but I'm so nervous. I can pick DK, Keenan Allen.
That's my guy.
I got Godwin there with a Brady stack. I could do that. I got Carson, but I mean my team so far is just Waller, Brady, and Eckler. So I'm like, I mean, and the quarterbacks are gone. Like, the quarterbacks are, I mean, the best ones are Carr, Baker, Big Ben, and then Daniel Jones. And then I'm looking at, like, Tua and Wentz and stuff like that. And I'm like, whew, I don't know if I can do those guys. But, you know, because I didn't take one of the early quarterbacks. I mean, Brady's sort of early, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, it makes me nervous with this pick. Like, this can make or break my team, like, honestly. You know, because then if I don't take a running back here, my next best running back, like if they go on a run here, I'm looking at like Kenyon Drake. That could be bad. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's tough. Yeah, it's just a weird one, man. But yeah, I love every year. Like you sweat the picks, and you know, I love the format, and like the drafting of it is almost the most exciting part of it. Like you set the lineup, and you're like, whatever. But like, but yeah, man, Jeff, what division are you in, and how's your team going?
Like I said, I'm in the Beastie Boys. I'm in League One.
Okay.
One.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry.
You just threw some shade at one of my guys, but I'm okay with that.
Wow. Which one?
Who?
Tua. I'm the biggest Tua apologist out there, man. I mean, come on. I wear a #1 jersey on the podcast.
I guess, man. I guess. I
had to do it.
He's hard to trust, man. He is. He's hard to trust. You just don't know what's going to happen with him. Yep. I think he's going to be better. I just don't know how much better and if it's worth it. Like
between the weapons and the efficiency in this format, he was a guy I actually settled for him because he's my second quarterback. I was hoping for Trevor Lawrence in the fourth, and I got sniped. You know, the spot before me. So I kind of looked at it. I drew a line.
I think your brother likes him, Chris. I'm guessing.
That's my wife.
There we go. Love it. He's
the best. But yeah, I started off with Russell Wilson. I was kind of hoping that I could get Russ in the second round, and I wanted to go quarterback, but it wasn't on the table. Dak went real early. I think fourth. That was the pipe dream, was going Dak, Russ. But once Dak was off the board, Lamar was off the board, I knew Russ was my guy. And then I just went running back heavy, and I loved my running back room with Derrick Henry in the second, Aaron Jones in the third, and then Dobbins in the fourth. So I'm stacked there.
Are you worried? Are you worried at all with you froze up, or is that me?
No.
All right. He was like, are you worried at all about Aaron Jones if Rodgers doesn't return?
Not one bit, one bit, because everything that they're saying out of Green Bay is that Jordan Love is captain checkdown. So I think there might be more receptions on the table for him. Maybe the touchdown equity is a little lower, but I'm not worried one bit. He's going to get the points. He's just going to get it a different way. I think he'll be more of a focal point in the offense if Jordan Love is at the helm. So
I could see that. Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Like I'm just kind of avoiding the Packers like top end guys right now.
I want nothing to do with Javonte Adams. That's
how early did Rodgers go in your all's draft, Jeff? Where'd he go?
He went in the second round.
Yeah, he went end of first round for me, David.
Yeah. Who'd you say who went in like
Rodgers? Where'd Rodgers go in your draft?
He was, I think, the end of the second round. Him and Brady went back-to-back before my pick.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I knew. I looked at the ADP. I took Brady a little early, but, like, man, quarterbacks, like, after I took Waller, quarterbacks were like, bye-bye. And I was like, I've got to grab somebody or I'm going to be done. So I couldn't wait. JL, where did Rodgers go in yours? I think he's like a wild card.
At the 211.
I mean, he's a huge wild card. He really is. I love it.
I'm pretty confident he'll be back. I don't think that he'll. He might hold out. He's pretty petty. He's like probably one of the most petty, petty NFL players.
I get it. Yeah.
I totally relate to that. That's definitely me. But I think that he'll be back this year, and I'm bullish on both Jones and Adams. Adams I think has proven that he can be relevant with or without Aaron Rodgers. And I think Aaron Jones is in an excellent situation, just like Jeff said.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since we're running out of time, I think we'll do a quick roundtable question for everybody here. If you are going to hammer a position in your next 2 to 5 picks, which one's going to be? We'll start with JL.
Oh, man. I'm thinking I'm thinking I might focus here on QB2. I feel like there's great QB2 value in that like round 6 to 8 that I've just been seeing pretty much across every draft board people have been sharing. You get those like man, who's in that list? Tua's still on the board for me. Like you said, Daniel Jones, Big Ben, all Justin Fields if he falls that far, Baker Mayfield, all great, great values and great QB2 targets, which I feel like that's a nice spot because you get those earlier rounds to focus on those skill positions, lock in those cornerstone guys, and then get the depth after you get that QB2.
David, who or what position do you think you should be targeting going forward in the next couple rounds?
I'll definitely get my QB2. It's going to be Baker's gone now. I mean, it's going to be like a Ben or a Carson Wentz. And then I definitely am going to get another running back. I only have 2 right now. I was thinking of going 3, but I went Allen Robinson and Stephon Diggs to give me a top 2 good wide receivers there. I have Swift and I have Gaskin. So I'm probably going to spend 2 of those picks on running back. So I would say it's definitely going to probably be 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, and like 1 or 2 wide receivers, probably the next 5.
Okay, and Jeff, I know you have 3 running backs ready, but are you going to target any more in the next few rounds?
I'm actually I'm drafting with an awesome group of people, so we're already in round 8. So, at this point, I'm basically in best player available mode at this point. I don't have a tight end yet, but I'm not going to press that. I know it's tight end premium, but the low end, the 15th tight end, gets the extra half point per reception and first down, just the same as Waller and Kelsey do. So I'm still keeping it the same on my board or whatever. So I'm in best player available mode. I'll probably look for there's not a tight end that I like at this point. So I'm going to wait another 2 rounds for that. So I'm probably going to look for a receiver and a running back because I already have my 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, go get your Dan Arnolds, man. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, at this point, it really doesn't matter. If you don't get Waller and Kelsey, it really doesn't matter. Kittle's sort of there, but I'm nervous with him, honestly.
All right.
So
Rob Gronkowski's only 5 months older than Kelsey. Putting that out there.
But he's not the same, dude.
All right, guys. It was great that you guys started the show. Congrats on this being your first Scott Fishbowl. And obviously we look forward to some screenshots as things get farther on and we start losing track of what round it is. So thank you again for joining us, guys.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, and we are going to be moving on to our next guest already.
Absolutely.
This is someone who's
moving fast
to join us all the way from the West Coast, where it's still Sunday evening. It is Marcas Grant of NFL.com Fantasy. Marcus, how you doing tonight? Thanks for joining us.
Good,
Marcus.
Well played on that. Things are good. The sun is still out. I'm sure it's dark probably on the East Coast, but the sun's still out here for a couple more hours.
We're allowed to drink because it's dark out,
Yeah.
You got to wait till it's dark for that?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It gives me an extra excuse.
All right, so Marcus, for people that don't know, what division are you in and what spot are you picking from?
I am in the Def Leppard division. I am picking from the 4th spot. So we are somewhere in, I think we're in round 6, either end of round 6, start of round 7, I think is about where we are right now.
That's not bad.
I'm so jealous, man. We had one dude, like we had a guy. He didn't even have a Twitter. He doesn't have a Twitter handle, and he took 6 hours to make his first pick. And so it was like, come on, it's a first pick, man.
I know.
I get it's a slow draft, but come on.
I know that the first day or so, like everybody is antsy for that, but I'm sort of like, hey, man, it's July. Like literally, we just had the first of July. Like we got time. So I know.
I didn't care so much, but like, man, my league mates were living.
I understand both sides of it. I truly do. And here's the thing: I have been admission. A couple years ago, during the Scott Fish Bowl, I was on vacation when it started. And I was on a train from LA to Portland, and there was no Wi-Fi on the train, and then there were spots because you're out in the middle of the forest, like, you know, in like northernmost California heading into Oregon. There were spots where I didn't have any cell reception either. So I'm pretty sure I timed out at least once because, like, literally, like, it was long stretches of like no communication whatsoever. And I know the people in my league were furious.
Man, you're lucky Scott invited you back, man.
I know.
NFL that common elitist just had to go through that.
Seriously, I had to jump in and like be super apologetic. Everything. I'm like, look, guys, like I literally woke up and like there were trees passing by my window. I have no idea what part of the state I'm in, so I had to be like super apologetic after that.
Well, at least you do that. I know everybody has, you know, issues with one person or multiple people in league, so you're not the first. You're definitely not going to be the last. Although the Mac Miller division that I'm in, we are apparently I had to put everything on snooze for DMs and stuff. They want to be the first division done, and they're going to donate a ton of money to Fantasy Care. So it's like, we got to make sure everybody's on. So actually, Marcus, if you could tell your teammate Mike Florio to go ahead and make his picks, he would really.
I called out.
Here's the bad news. The bad news I have for you on that is that he is back home in Queens, New York, for the first time in a couple of years. So I'm sure he's sort of doing the family and friends circuit right now. You know, I don't know how long, like I have no idea how long your draft is going to go, but he is also going to be driving from New York back to California in about 3 weeks. So if you're still going in like 3 weeks, you know, you're missing Florio for long stretches. That's just my heads up.
That's
the
amazing.
heads up.
Hopefully, I don't think that's ever gone that
amazing
long.
that he gets to do that. Although the drive, not ideal. Only just because I drove from San Francisco to Central Illinois, where I live, a couple months ago, and that was with 2 kids under the age of 5.
Well, he's not doing that, fortunately. I think he has a dog. That might be about it. You know.
Okay, Marcus. So, what has been the biggest surprise for you, either in the division, in Def Leppard, or whether you've seen it on Twitter or anything like that?
I think a couple of things. One, I think, is just how quickly the quarterbacks have gone. In at least in our division, I from what I'm hearing anecdotally, it seems to be happening all across the Scott Fish Bowl.
Oh yeah,
just how quickly they're
Super
going.
flex.
And I took Travis Kelce with my number 1 pick. You know, I was the 4th pick. I took Travis Kelce with a tight end premium. I have been all about taking one of those elite tight ends early, just because it's the thinnest position. I want that peace of mind. I just want to be good with it. But hoping that I could get, you know, like there'd be a lot of quarterbacks left when it came back around to me at the end of the second, and there really were. So here's the scary part. So my second pick was actually on Jalen Hurts because the quarterbacks were going so quickly. So I was like, let me get at least one that I feel good about, especially with that rushing floor. But what scared me, the rankings, I don't know if you've noticed the rankings on the MFLs. I don't know if they're based on like rookie dynasty or something or what, but I was like, well, I see all these quarterbacks going. I'm like, well, let me see which quarterbacks are left. And I shuffled to the quarterback filter, and the first 2 names that popped up were like Trey Lance, Justin Fields, like Kellen Mond was up there. I'm like,
no. That's the big thing with MFL. Yeah, that's the big thing about MFL. And I've asked them. I've actually emailed them and been like, can you give me a filter so I could like get rid of the dynasty and the rookie drafts because it screws the ADP.
And I really,
it's crazy.
I looked at it, I was like, oh no, are the quarterbacks really that gone? And then I scrolled down. I'm like, okay, here are some names. I'm like, all right, we're still.
Yeah, you can filter, by the way, like at the very top of that, like, you can filter by like rank or by ADP or something like that. So it changes it a little bit, so it's not as bad.
I sorted by rank, and I'm like, all right, cool, we're still good here.
Breathe a sigh of relief.
The other thing that has surprised me early on is that this is in recent memory at least, I can't think of a year where there were more unique number 1 overall picks. And just sort of like seeing across the board, you know, like you've seen Christian McCaffrey and Mahomes. I know my pal Adam Rank had been toying with the idea of taking Travis Kelce number 1. I would think that has happened.
Number 1 a few times.
Yeah, I would think that's happened in a few leagues. I just have never seen such a wide variety. Usually, you know, you get in the past, you say a McCaffrey and, you know, say a Saquon or Dalvin Cook or something at 2, but you're going pretty heavy running back. This year has been pretty much all over the board for number one picks.
Yeah, no, I love your tight end early pick. I had the 8. I wanted Kelce to fall to me. He didn't, but Waller did, and I nabbed him because in years past, especially with since the tight end heavy scoring has started, I've just been scrambling for tight ends, and they have such a value over the rest of their position. I just felt like it was worth the pick. It's just. But yeah, you're right. Like the variety at the top, and Rum Boys Fantasy Network there. Robbie probably chiming in here. He agrees, man. That the variety at the top is just crazy. You see Mahomes. I've seen Dak go 2. I've seen Dak go 8.
Wow.
It's crazy stuff like that. So I see Waller go as far as the end of the second round, which just seems absolutely nonsense to me. But I had to grab him where I did because I don't feel like chasing the tight end points anymore. I'm tired of it.
No, I'm seriously not. And like it's funny because what I suggest that my tight end strategy isn't what it really is. Like in my mind, I'm either a pay up for the elite guys or wait and get the upside guys sort of at the very end of the draft. That's what I believe in my head. But then what usually happens is if I don't get, say, a Kelce or a Waller or a Kittle, inevitably I'll be like late on the clock or somewhere in like the 9th round, and I'll see like, oh, Mike Gesicki's there, and I click it. And then
you're like,
and then I feel
it meant nothing.
And then my stomach feels bad after that.
Yeah, I mean that was me last year. I was super high on Hayden Hurst. And that didn't work, and I took Gesicki too. I think it was just like I took like 2 bombs, and it was like I'm done. I'm just taking the high end guy, and I'm leaving it. I'm just running for the hills, and just figuring out quarterback and stuff later. Which I got Brady, but now I'm like kind of scrambling. Like, do I take another one now? It's like, I don't even know. So.
Marcus, what is one thing for newbies? As you probably heard before you came on, we have 3 first-timers to even start our show, and there's 1,000 plus at this point in Scott Fishbowl 11 that have never done this before. So especially as we're getting probably into in between 5th and 10th round at this point, what do you recommend for first-timers as they're looking at the board just kind of get thinner and there's a lot less uncertainty with the players left?
I'd say play upside, swing for the fences. I think sometimes, and this applies, I think, in a lot of leagues, but especially in this one, I think sometimes you start to sort of play it safe later in drafts, and you start to think, hey, this guy has an okay floor, week to week. But I would much rather, if we're getting to the mid to late rounds, I'd rather play the ceiling and just see and just take some of those big swings. Because you're talking about those guys later that, if you're talking about a team's 3rd or 4th wide receiver, like I want that guy that has the potential to give me a week winning performance, right? I don't want the guy who's like, hey, he's steady, but that steady is, 4 catches for 45 yards and maybe you get a touchdown out of it. Like that's just not doing me anything. I want the guy who, I may take some bad weeks from him, but you know what? If I get that sticks for $110 and a tud, like, that's the upside that I want to play for late. So I just say, at some point, to hell with caution. Let's play. Let's take some big swings and see what we come up with.
Well, speaking of that, so this is the first year that Scott's introduced kickers. We're talking about 4 flex spots, and 1 super flex, so typically quarterback. But you still, so then 3. I mean, I've had numerous weeks and numerous years where my 3rd or 4th flex spot gets me like 2 points. I could get a kicker, man, that gets me, double digits almost every week. What are you thinking about drafting kickers in this round?
I think I'm definitely going to take a kicker at some point, kind of late in this thing. And I know that several people on Twitter have done really good work around it. I know. Reading some things, most recently the Monday Mommy, Jennifer Eakins, who wrote a really nice piece about strategy for the Scott Fish Bowl. And, part of what she mentioned was, you can either take that swing at a 3rd or 4th receiver on a team, or you can go after a kicker who on a week-to-week basis will probably give you better production. So I think there will come a point when I'm sure I'm scrolling through the list of available players and feeling kind of nauseous about it. That might be the time I start to pull the trigger on a kicker.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm probably going to take the kicker where I'm looking at like the backup running backs where it takes an injury or something like that for those guys to be good. And like, those are the guys you cut first, you know, and you know, that first 2 weeks of the waiver wire. And you're like, yeah, that wasn't worth my pick. I could have taken a kicker and actually gotten some points out of it. It's just hard to start a kicker over a wide receiver. It really is.
No,
but,
I totally get it because it's.
But I'll do it.
It's not remotely sexy. I get it. But you know, I think I as much as I said swing for the fences, I think in this league, getting a kicker late is sort of swinging for the fences, right? You can go and take a shot at say, I don't know, just pick a team. Miami's third or fourth receiver, right? You can take a shot on Preston Williams,
yeah.
Or you can, like, you know, maybe decide to go after Younghoe Koo. Like, who's you gonna be better off with?
He's probably gonna go like round 11. You watch.
He probably will.
He will. People are going crazy over him. I know, but he's worth it, man. He's gonna get like 11 to 12 to 15, if not more points on average a week. Like, it's crazy.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're talking about sexy kickers, it's Sebastian Janikowski because like we all grew up watching
Seabass!
Kick his ass, Seabass.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it big time.
Man. Yeah, with you on Twitter, communicating with people, you taking time out for the little guys like us, we appreciate it, especially because we're essentially across the country from you at this point. And you have a life outside of football, despite what people think on Twitter when they ask you questions every day. So.
Yeah, you know, like I said before this, I was on dad detail, like putting dinner on the table and, you know, making sure my kid didn't destroy the house.
That's what I do right now. So I do that and then this. So, you know, I get it. It's fun.
Appreciate it. But I appreciate the invitation, guys. Hopefully, hopefully your draft comes out all right. You guys enjoy the Scott Fish Bowl.
Yeah,
thanks, Marcus. Man. Take it easy.
Cool. See it.
All right, so real quick, right before we bring on our next guest, I got about 10 seconds here. Just want to remind everybody, please donate to MS here. We're trying to raise money for MS. FantasySixpack.net/donate. We appreciate everything you could do. And Jeff, introduce the next guest here.
All right, so the next one, I'm not going to lie, found out that he was in the Scott Fish Bowl because I was looking for people that we would want to have on the show for tonight. And it just so happened that one of the members of one of my favorite hardcore bands, because I know it's very popular, as you saw by the divisions in Scott Fish Bowl, but the lead guitarist of August Burns Reds, JB Brubaker, is in the Scott Fish Bowl. So I decided to contact him, and look what we have here.
Awesome.
So, JB, thank you so much
for
joining us
Good
tonight.
Grab, Jeff.
Yes, I've only seen ABR twice, so I apologize. But for those that are watching the show at this point, tell them about yourself, JB, about ABR, and how you actually got into sports and fantasy sports.
Cool. Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me on, guys. I've been playing in a band, August Burns Reds, since I was a kid, basically, 18 years now. And
nice.
I've been a huge sports fanatic my whole life. As soon as I was old enough to understand baseball and football, I was watching it with my dad and learning about it. And, you know, that grew into fantasy. And I've been doing fantasy football and fantasy baseball for many years now. And I guess I got into the Scott Fish Bowl just by applying, and Scott was kind enough to let me in. So I'm happy to be a part of it this year. It's my first time playing. And
nice.
It's a lot of firsts for me. It's my first slow draft. It's my first super flex league. And, you know, there's a lot. It's my first time playing with a lot of, you know, sharks, I guess. So,
who's in your league? I haven't looked it up. Anybody like that you like, you know, follow and things like that?
I'm gonna sound like a dick. No, I don't know anyone, but everyone's been cool thus far.
No, it's all good.
There's a dude named Smitty Smith who does the fantasyfootballshow.com. Are you familiar?
No, but
no. Honestly, I'm not.
Everybody's trying to be noticeable, and I know the website, but the name is
so the only one I know is Ryan Sirfos. He's actually in one of my leagues. He's a Marylander.
Okay.
So he's going for 2. And then, that's it for your league. That's all I know.
No worries.
But I get it, man. But it's awesome, man. You get to meet all these, all these new people. That's what this is all about, man. Like meeting people, raising money for causes, like multiple sclerosis or fantasy cares, whatever you want to donate to, man. That's what it's all about. It's just getting out there. How excited were you, man, when you get that email in your inbox, though?
I was pumped. I had like no one to tell because I, you know what I mean? Like I told my wife and she's like, "That's really cool, honey." Like she didn't give a shit about fantasy football.
Sounds like my wife.
Right.
She's like, "Who cares?"
Yeah. So it's fun, but this is so cool because there is such a big community around it, and everyone who's involved gets how cool it is. So I'm talking with I'm in the slot 7 chat on Twitter that's like constantly going on.
Mm-hmm.
My division, the Offspring division for Scott Fishbowl, is constantly chatting. So like it is fun. I'm talking fantasy football all day long right now, and and I've never done that this early in the season. Usually it's mid-August.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to dig in and getting ready to draft for my leagues. My home leagues.
Yeah. This one definitely gets me every year. You're like, oh, wait, the Scott Fishbowl started today. Oh wait.
Yep.
Even me, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for it yet. And you're never ready for Scott Fishbowl because it is do not use this ADP for any of your other drafts ever because it is totally insane. It doesn't matter. Like even another Superflex league, it doesn't matter. This one's so insane. But how have you picked so far? Where are you at?
I'm actually going to be on the clock, possibly while we're on the air here, which will be my 6th.
We have a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the person telling me to go.
My league is waiting for me because I can't pick right now because I'm on I'm on the clock. They're just going to have to wait.
Okay, well, JB, tell people where you're at roster-wise and what you're considering then with your next pick.
Okay, I started out with Kelsey. I'm picking from the 7th slot. So
that's a good
7. Oh
that's
my
a good
God. That's a dream.
I was impressed that he dropped that far. And then I got Saquon Barkley with my next pick, which I thought was another guy that kind of fell to me, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity. Hopefully he's healthy. And then I was like, I need quarterbacks because all the quarterbacks were going. And I went Matt Stafford and Kirk Cousins with my next 2 picks in rounds 3 and 4. I felt a little weird going back-to-back with quarterbacks, especially because neither of them had me super excited. But they're guys who I guess look good in this scoring format. So
they are, especially with Stafford's move,
Right.
Yeah, I like Stafford a lot.
How do you feel about Cousins in the 4th? Like, do you think that was...
I took him in the 4th in my league, and I drafted from 110, so...
He's a safe floor guy. He had that one, disgusting week last year that everybody, laughed about. But other than that, he's, a safe floor guy. He's pretty efficient. He's not going to go... He's not going to get sacked a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a heavy running offense, but, when he throws the ball, he's got good weapons, so that matters. So I do like it as your second quarterback, especially since you waited.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the upside of some more exciting, like a Jalen Hurts or something.
But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't need that. You just need to not get killed. Especially the bad quarterbacks in this format are bad. You don't want them.
Jameis Winston.
He's going to have his weeks in, Ryan Fitzpatrick. They're going to have their weeks, right, where they're going to score 40. But they're going to have their weeks where they're -10, -15. And you can't have that. Yeah. And so if you're going to go 2 quarterbacks, as, with your flex, that's the way I think you need to go. You need to get a safe guy. And that's where I'm looking at right now, too. I'm looking at quarterbacks, and I'm going, do I take one with Carr, who's safe, or Baker, who's a little more upside, Big Ben, or do I wait and hopefully get a Dano? But he gets sacked. But he gets sacked a lot, though.
Yeah,
he gets sacked a lot.
He's old. He's super old. So who knows what's going to happen?
He gets banged up. He doesn't move. He gets sacked a lot. And last year they just dinked and dunked with him, and then defenses figured it out and crushed him. So
Yeah,
I don't know what's
going
going to
That
happen.
you're getting him more like in the back end of the QB2 territory as opposed to like the front end, which is what was
Right, that's where he was
year,
going last
so.
year. I get it, yeah.
So yeah, even though he can't move, like if he's the worst of a tier for you before you fall off to like a Mac Jones or like Tyrod Taylor, yeah, sure, okay, like whatever. It could be a lot worse, like JB mentioned with the actual weapons there.
Yeah.
Okay, JB, we see an Eagle shirt. And
Yes.
and the usual co-host,
big Eagles fan.
nobody looks at me as a huge Eagles fan. So, are you just strictly an Eagles fan, or are you pro Philadelphia in general? And if that's the case, how do you feel about Ben Simmons?
I'm pro Philadelphia.
Dropping the hammer.
Yeah, Ben Simmons. I don't know, man. That is such a difficult call. I think that he needs to go, though. I think he needs to go. I don't think he likes playing in Philly.
He won't watch this show, so you can tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Time to go. But it's a shame because there's so much potential. And, he's going to be like a guy who goes somewhere else and just figures out how to shoot and just cleans house and burns us. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen.
It's like, what's his name? It was like Orlando, and then I forget where he went, and like all of a sudden it was like, oh, he was decent. It was like...
Well, the way they made
I totally blanking on.
No, for me, as someone that grew up watching Chicago sports, it's watching Cameron Payne do essentially anything in the playoffs like he's been doing for the Suns. So it's because he's the backup point guard for the Suns and Chris Paul, whether it's an injury or COVID, it's like, oh, there's Cam Payne. He actually looks like a real player.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Carson Wentz will do the same thing in Indy this season. He'll probably.
I'm done. I'm done with the Wentz slander strictly for this. Philadelphia entered last season with one of the best offensive lines, and they lost 2 of them before the season even started. So you're down 2 at any point in the year, you're toast. You lose 2 to begin the year, and they're season-ending ones, and then you throw in another player, and they're cycling guys off the practice squad. Like Carson Wentz has,
and he had no receivers. So so I'm sitting here on the clock, and I could go for Carr, which seems a tad early in round 4, or Baker. They're all early, or I could wait and snag Carson Wentz. I'm gonna have to reach for him, but do I do that and then take like a Sanders or a Montgomery or a Chris Carson instead?
Yeah, I took Chris Carson in mine. I am a Chris.
I love Chris Carson. He's just always hurt. Like I've had him every year. He's got fishbowl because he falls.
I don't mind any of those as long as you think that Miles Sanders doesn't lose.
I could also take DK Metcalf, which seems so tempting. Like
I'd go DK, dude.
Yeah, take DK. I mean, you're talking an elite guy in the way that wide receivers are falling. Like JB, like how many wide receivers went in like the first 2 rounds in your draft?
I actually have it up right here. Not many. I think maybe 4 or 5. It was actually it might have been 2. I'm sorry, it might have been 2.
Yep, because we had 2 and I took one of them.
It was Tyreek Hill and
we had
Adams. That was it
same
for the
here.
first 2
we
rounds.
had no receivers go in the first 2 rounds. None.
Wild.
Tyreek Hill was the first one in 3-4. There's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers taken, and I could take DK in the 4th, and then maybe come around and take a receiver, and then hopefully get Wentz on the way back. I think that might be the way I go. Anybody listening from my league, don't believe me. I'm not doing this. I promise. Like, damn it. Spill the beans.
They'll do their own thing.
I know. Like, fuck it. I'm taking DK.
Yeah.
I'm done. Yeah.
I would take the
line draft. I love it. I love it.
I like that too. I think that's. I would have.
I think it's a good call. Like I was staring at DK the whole time. Like and that's what I did with Waller. I like tried to talk myself out of it and then couldn't do it. So yeah, it's just we're good.
I'm in this position where I only have Saquon Barkley as my running back, and I'm about to be on the clock in the 6th round. And
6.
I'm looking at Mike Davis and like Josh Jacobs on the board, and I'm like, take one of these because I mean they're
Mike
interesting,
Davis?
but it's very thin after that. Like it drops quickly.
I know Davis is like the guy that people are going to lean to, and Jeff, you just said that. I mean, Jacobs is sort of safe, right? Like,
Do you think?
Why not?
He
Kenyon
was really
Drake.
disappointing for me last year.
I don't know.
And Kenyon Drake, yes, they spent a lot of money on him, and he's going to get touches.
And majority of the carries in the red zone for the Cardinals last year went to Kenyon Drake. So you're losing one of those perceived upsides.
And Jacobs sucked in the red zone last year. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to just pick Robert Woods because I have.
I love
I'm gonna get.
Robert
I mean, if you skip on them, what are you looking at if you come back?
Like
realistically,
ETN or.
I don't hate ETN. That's
Chase
an upside
Edmonds,
play.
maybe if he's still on the board.
No, I don't like Edmonds.
Oh, it's
I hate the Edmonds because I know as much as people don't like Connor, like Edmonds is not gonna be the guy. Like he's gonna be the change of pace guy.
Mm-hmm.
Connor's gonna be Drake, and Edmonds is gonna be Edmonds from last year. So nobody should go high on Edmonds, but that's tough, man.
What do you think stacking is though? Like, do you think that's valuable in this league?
I do like stacking in this league, which is almost why I wanted to take Godwin when I took DK because I have Brady, but. DK is just another level in my opinion, so that was good. But yeah, stacking here because it's a tournament, man. You're playing against 1,900 other people,
right?
Like, that's crazy. It's a if you really want to go win, if you just want to finish okay, then go safe. If you want to really go for it, you stack. That's
well. Then I have to pick Robert Woods now, and I actually am on the clock. Chris Godwin just right in front of me.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's like I don't know. Would you guys take Mike Davis or Josh Jacobs or Robert Woods, knowing you had the stack with Stafford?
If you feel like, that's the hard part. I mean, that's going to be a utilized stack. I mean, you could really do it with almost anybody with the Rams, but Robert Woods also is going to take away carries from Cam Akers, even if it's only like 1 or 2 a week. That's still 2 touches away from other competition. That's going to be a hyper-efficient offense as long as that offensive line holds up. So, I mean, if you want to go for the stack, it's him or Davis to me. And I would rank it in order of Woods over Davis. And
I do kind of like the Woods because I'm not sure Davis is going to be a difference maker. I think Woods can be.
Safe. He feels safe. He's going to get the work. Do you know what I mean?
We hope. I mean, that's the other thing. We hope.
So real quick, JB, we have one of our next guests. He wants to give you advice, so he's going to jump on. This is Brian Johnson. We'll bring in real quick here.
I need it. What's up, man?
JB, I got you, man.
Help me.
Who you got on roster?
I love it. Let's do it.
I have Travis Kelce, Saquon Barkley, Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins, and Keenan Allen. I only have one running back. Is the key takeaway here?
All right, so you only got one quarterback then, right?
No, I have two quarterbacks. I have
you got
Stafford and Cousins.
Stafford and Cousins. All right.
And I kind of want to stock Robert Woods with Stafford.
You had Mike Davis on. He's available too.
He's available, and Josh Jacobs is also available.
No, fuck Jacobs, man.
That's kind of what we all go. I was like iffy on him, but
I would go Davis. I took Davis in the 5th round of mine, and I'm in the set. I was in the 6th hole, turned into the 7th hole, of course, after the reversal. But I took Davis in the 5th round of mine, man, and I'm Allen, Eckler, Hurts, Andrews, Davis, and so
Eckler,
on the same build, man. But no, Davis, top 15 running back this year, easy.
I'm a little nervous about him, but I get it. I get it. I'm a little nervous about him. Like
we're being very helpful, JV. That's what we're.
That was me. Now. I'm a little nervous.
You're throwing the wrench in the works, dude.
Why are you nervous?
But do it,
Joe. Why are you nervous about Mike Davis?
Because.
Have you seen the size? I mean,
and was RB2 for the fucking Panthers last year.
Man, Brian.
But are they gonna run that same offense? They don't run the same offense, and so like he goes to Atlanta, and like the last few running backs for Atlanta have been trash.
Hey, but remember Arthur Smith there.
Arthur Smith there. Tight end is wide receiver 2. What is one thing that it's all getting mixed up, Joe?
Yeah, Matt Ryan's going to have efficient throws to Kelly.
Ryan's yelling at me.
And then, Mike Davis is going to assume the Derrick Henry role.
No, this is
fine.
I got no one to talk to but you guys. I love this shit.
Pick Mike Davis. I don't hate it. He is my 1B to my 1A. I do like the wood stack because I think stacking in Scott Fishbowl
Wide
helps.
receivers in Scott Fishbowl are garbage, and they have been for years, and that continues this year. No,
And also,
That's true. That is true too.
Okay, we got to wrap this up here, but for JB, like if you don't get Robert Woods, there's always Cooper Kupp in a couple rounds, or if you want to do the dart, or if you want to do the dart throw, Van Jefferson, or even for the Twitter stuff, Tutu Atwell. So there's a couple other guys there. So, but yeah, we have to cut you off, unfortunately, JB. It was not my idea, but we do have time constraints. But JB, tell people where they can find you, where they can find your music, and what you guys have coming up, whether it's new album, new singles, or tour.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at JB Brubaker, on Instagram at JB Burns Red. My band August Burns Red is touring in the fall, finally, because we've been house-ridden since COVID hit in March.
Awesome.
September, October, we'll be all over America. AugustBurnsRed.com for dates and tickets if you care. And thank you guys for having me on. It was fun talking fantasy football.
Man.
People actually give a shit because there's not a lot of those kind of people in my life.
I love it, man. Good to have you on, man.
All right, JB, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the night with your family. Good luck the rest of the draft.
Thank you, guys. See you
Later.
See ya.
All right, we got Brian Johnson, and we're going to bring in the other two guys we have at the moment. That includes Rum Boys Robbie, who runs Rum Boys. And we have a champion in our midst here. Stompy, Robbie, Brian, thank you guys for joining us.
Already know it is. Cheers to me, cheers to you. Shout out to the whole Fantasy Six-Pack crew. Let's get it. Dilly dilly.
Oh, yeah, man. Cheers.
All right, guys. So, real quick, I know Brian, was coming in hot, so we'll start with Brian. Go to Robbie and Stompy. Tell us your division and where you're picking from.
Man.
Tell us your division where you're picking from. We'll go from there.
I'm in the Tupac division. I'm pick number 4. And you already know I'm keeping it on brand with King Henry first off the board. That's what I did. That's how I'm rolling. And, that's going to be a thing.
Nice. Got to go with what you got to go with, man.
Yeah,
Okay, Stompy, tell us where the one of the reigning kings is located in Scott Fishbowl.
I'm in the Hall & Oates division.
My wife would be. My wife would love you for that, man. If she were to have the pick, that would be it.
Hall & Oates is one of the GOATs. Greatest rock and roll Hall of Fame. Let's go.
All right, and what spot are you picking in?
10. So it was 10 and then 3.
Yeah, the way they reverse and stuff like that too. Yeah.
3. Yeah.
So I actually went against my strategy each of the last 3 years, and I actually went QB tight end. Actually, I went tight end QB. I went Waller and then Herbert. And didn't get my first running back until the 3rd. So
who was it?
Aaron Jones, and then I also got Dobbins, and I was able to stack Keenan Allen with Herbert. So.
Oh, you got to do that.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, Brian.
Okay,
you said,
Brian.
I'm in your league. You said I'm in your league.
Yeah, I got. I thought you were Robbie.
Raj?
There's another rum in the Wu-Tang clan. My bad. I got twisted up there.
There's so many of us. I have a big staff.
Yeah, I've been in Fishbowl like 7 years now. I'm no champ like Stompy. Stompy, we've talked before on the old Sirius show.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember that. I remember that, Brian.
But for the first time, I made a request to Fish. I was like, you got to put a division request. I mean, I was in like the Erector set division last year.
Yeah,
in the toy thing. Like, I wasn't like, put me in the Erector set division. But I said, you got to put me in the Woo because I fucking love the Wu-Tang. But I had 6 spot, and man, I had Allen and Lamar Jackson on the board at 6.
Okay.
Kyler and Dak went before both of them. I was like, whoo.
Wow.
I was floored. I had to go.
That happened to me too.
That's kind of the chalk play, but I think L-Jax gets back to that 2019 level, but I went Allen first pick. But I always go QB heavy. I took Hurts 3rd round. I went Eckler in the 2nd at RB7. He's going to be top RB5, but
I like it.
We'll get into more of the picks later for sure, but that's where I'm at right now. Yeah. We're in like round 5 of my draft. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'm in round 5 of mine as well. I went ahead and I said, you know what? I shit superiority. I piss excellence, and my nuts are made of diamonds. As soon as I had Derrick Henry off the board, I was like, all right, what's next? Like, I saw the QB starting to go off. I was like, well, like, if this guy's going to be sitting there, I'm going Tannehill. So I got Mr. Tannehill with all of his skills, Mr. Tannehill.
So you're just monopolizing that Titans offense, huh?
Bro, I'm trying to avoid the triple stack, but it might happen. It might happen, I'm a very big stack advocate, but not as far as going like to like the triple stack. Like that's just way over brand for me.
You could do quadruple there with the you get AJ and Julio.
Oh god! Yeah. And I just say fuck week 11 altogether.
Yeah, or whatever, man.
But no, I got CH in the third. I like that. Clyde Edwards, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And then right after that, I got Captain Kirk. Beam me up, Scotty. So yeah, you know, Kirk Cousins is my QB too. So I'm looking to see if I can get a stack here in round 5, and then after that, with the way these guys are drafted, I might be able to snipe Andrews in the 6th. If not, then I'll go Goddard.
Whew. All right, guys. Before we go any further, the 4th member of the crew. We literally just got him off his shift at SiriusXM. We have Mendelson Karoll. As you can see by his jersey, he's a big White Sox fan.
I know this guy.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me this asshole. I'm getting out.
I didn't know we were gonna start fights, Jeff. What's going on here?
Oh no, this is perfect because like
that's entertainment.
I was talking Sirius XM, and this is the biggest prick that ever worked at Sirius XM.
Your Scott cover crap. I got that all on lock. Don't give me that.
Oh boy, Brian, just think
I love Bennett more than pretty much everybody.
I love Brian.
Hey, his name is Bennett. He's in it. Let's go.
All right, Bennett, tell people what division and what spot you're picking from.
I am in the Roots division. I am picking out of the 8 spot, and I am, as I have been all 3 rounds, waiting on Dr. David Chow to eventually make his selection.
Oh,
okay. Eventually. I'm through 3. Yeah, I'm through 3 right now.
Through 3?
David Chow. We're into the 4th. So at 8, I was thinking I'd be real cool and be like, oh yeah, maybe I'll get a quarterback. And the top 5 went off. So I sat there and looked at Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara. And I am a Bears fan. That didn't really help. But I ended up going with Kamara with the 8th pick, which probably the wrong pick. But I only do.
No, it was the correct pick.
It was a good pick. No, that's a good pick. AK-41.
Yeah, I was between the 2.
I would say that was the wrong pick.
Yeah, I know. Dalvin Cook or it should have been Saquon Barkley. Those are the only 2.
Saquon, I ain't trusting Saquon.
Were there quarterbacks available?
Top 5 went off.
Oh, well.
Wow.
It was Mahomes, Allen, Prescott, McCaffrey, Kelsey, Kyler, Lamar. So that's why I was sitting there. And then Siege is the pick behind me, so he took Waller, and I figured, great, I'll get Kittle on the way back. And then he took Kittle as well, the pick before me. So I was that close to having Kittle and feeling like having. And this is why I said being a Bears fan doesn't really matter. I then took Aaron Rodgers.
Damn it!
Whoa.
Justin
what happened?
Went off the board.
I was gonna say
Rodgers was that big.
Snaked. So if you ever snake Robbie, just remember that's the reaction you're gonna get. So do it all the time.
That's the first time that it's happened, and I haven't run around like, yo, I'm an analyst. Like, I don't care. I don't give a damn. I'll give you my whole advice, and I'll still beat you. And that's what I get for talking cash shit.
Brian, what were you gonna say?
Well, I am officially on the clock. You want me to do a little?
Yeah, man. We've done this a couple times, so yeah, we got a couple minutes. Go.
Let's just make sure I close out Pornhub.
Get a reflection off your.
Don't share your screen.
No, you got
just tell us.
I'll share an entire pocket. I won't share my stock portfolio. It's a little upsetting these days.
No, they could just find it on your Twitter handle and under your bio.
I'll tell you, not financial advice, but I'll see you all on the moon. All right. We see what I'm looking at, or no?
No, it's good. Just tell us.
Give us what you're working with.
We got a couple minutes. Just go.
6th round. So I got Allen, Eckler, Hurts, Andrews, Davis. So this is what I'm going to do, fellas, and I've done this for years. I'm not saying like I know what I'm doing, but I've played in Scott Fishbowl like 7 years, and I've always been the first one to 3 quarterbacks and 4 quarterbacks for sure in my league. I don't give a flying fuck.
I love
Stranglehold. No,
I mean, yeah.
No, and people every year they're like, "Oh, you can't trade in this league, moron. You can't start 3 quarterbacks." Yeah, I know, but you incite a riot with quarterbacks.
Just being a dick.
Just the fab turnover is awful. Like,
it's not being a dick. It's just like this shit is so deep, and even with kickers this year now, even deeper.
Right.
Like if you trust yourself to find value in the later round, like there's no replacement level players for starting quarterbacks in the first 10 rounds of the Scott Fishbowl.
Yeah.
No.
Really, there's not. I mean, maybe one. Like you'll find that one diamond in the rough, right? So I've always been fine, just like really inciting panic. And so I'm gonna do this so I got Allen and Hurts already, Eckler, Davis, Andrews, no tight ends, no wide receivers. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna take.
Because apparently, fuck wide receivers, right?
I'm taking QB3 right now. There's 3 teams without a quarterback.
Right.
They're gonna fucking shit their
They're gonna hate you.
Because you can punt on receivers so heavy, like it's so like.
Oh yeah. There are 60
I mean,
receivers.
you've inspired somebody to take a QB again.
Love it.
And boys,
They love you.
I want all of your input. I'm gonna let majority rule in the room right now what quarterback I'm taking between. And there are no bye week concerns here between Jones, Wentz, Watson.
Oh no.
Jones, Wentz, Watson.
Okay.
I kind of just want to go Watson.
Don't do it.
He's a piece of shit, of course. Well, not a confirmed piece of shit, but he's
as weird as it sounds, like I kind of like Jones because he will run.
I do too. But
and as your third, like
it's
less of a risk for you. You can take it on and hope he bounces back to his rookie year self.
And I do hate Gettleman so much. So this is this is a great hedge. It's a great hedge. So,
well, at the end of the day, it's just gonna.
That was the Jones from Joe, correct?
Yeah.
Real quick, guys, and then I'll shut up.
Because we got to bounce to the next guest, unfortunately, guys.
Jones, Wentz, Watson. Real quick, fire off, folks.
Watson, because you already have 2 starting quarterbacks.
That's the spicy take.
Bold. That's bold. I like it. From the chip.
And let's not forget, Stompy is the only one here that sat atop the mountain. So
imagine though.
I get it. Yeah, I totally get it.
If he plays this year and is a top 5 quarterback again, now you said you have Allen and who?
Hurts. And again, Hurts is no given, right?
You have
Hurts has ceiling. Floor.
Right. But and now you have 3 legitimate shots at a top 5 QB this year in Allen, Hurts, and Watson.
I gotta go with the defending champ. I mean, even if the majority of that, I
don't hate it. I don't hate it.
You gotta shoot for the moon in the Scott Fishbowl, right, Stompy?
To each their own.
All right, guys.
You gotta take.
Wait,
risks,
I don't think
man.
15 minutes has been enough.
I wish we had more time.
You guys want, but real quick, round table starting with Brian, going down to Robbie and across. Tell us where people can find you.
I'm gonna shut up at BTXJ Guillotine Leagues. Check them out. I'm gonna draft Watson, boys, and I love you all, especially.
All right, enjoy with that one, man.
All right, Robbie, where can people find you?
You guys can find me on the SportsMe app. I am the one of the partners and founders of the app and chief marketing officer. So get on over to SportsMe app, download it.
Nice.
It's my baby. And you can debate me or ask me fantasy football questions, and I'm going to win you a championship because that's just what I do. And then also runboys.com and at runboysr on Twitter and runboys spelled as ZNET on all of the social media. Let's go.
All right, Stompy, where can we find the king?
Yeah, you can find me at Stomp Bear Pig on Twitter. I think that's like the 6th handle I've had. After being banned multiple times. Robbie knows about that.
You and me both.
I was gonna say, I was looking up your Twitter handle, Robbie, and I was like, that's not the right one. Now it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm kind of just hanging out on Twitter right now, working my way back after taking a step back. So I'll be on Twitter, hanging out, talking football, talking shit, whatever.
All right, Bennett.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
I'm on Twitter at the Bennett K, and if you call in to SiriusXMFantasy and the guy screening your call sounds tired and a little annoyed, it might be me. So just say hey.
All right, so when I call in, I'll just be like, Bennett, dude, just shut up and get me on air.
I'm going to be like, I need your name. I need where you're from. You need to give me just a topic. It doesn't have, I don't need everything.
Sounds
I
good.
gave all you guys follows. I just followed everybody. Stompy.
Awesome. Thanks, Robbie. I follow all you guys, so we're good. All right, we got to move along, though, guys. Sorry to kick you guys off, but we got to move. Jeff, push all the buttons. We got our people coming in.
Oh, God. We have so many good people coming in.
Oh, this is such a fun
I'm still here. I'll stay.
God, there we go. Okay.
Bye, Brian. Sorry, Brian. We got to peace out, bud.
Next up, we have a great trio that turned into a great quad.
Woo!
We have Daniel Dopp of ESPN, Davis Mattek of SportsGrid. We have Samantha Holt, who literally was just here like 5 days ago, and the person who's running the entire show, Scott Fish, is coming up.
Hey, Scott, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Awesome.
I was hoping you'd bring me in early, man. Or just a second ago, because you had my co-host on, my former Sirius producer on.
Man.
It
was just timing was off a little
stop
bit.
talking, which is a good thing. It feels quite good for us. Here, real quick. Here, look at that. There you go. There's Brian, because he's still hanging around.
Brian's hanging out because he's man. What's up?
You
say hi to Scott.
No, hey Scott. I was off. No, that's creepy because I haven't done anything weird since I got off camera, but I just popped back on. I wasn't going to try.
Okay, well, say bye, Brian.
I'll stay. I'm going to put myself on here.
That's fantastic.
Brian.
All right.
Okay, so our newcomers, please, whoever wants to go first, tell us the division and where you're picking.
I'm in the Mac Miller division, and I chose 104 as my starting slot, and Scott was nice enough to give it to me.
Aw,
nice.
Okay, Samantha, tell us division and pick.
I'm in the Aerosmith division, and I'm actually also the 104.
Ooh. All right.
All right, Scott, since you are the man, tell us exactly where you wanted to be this year.
I took 112. Beastie Boys. I always have to take a corner. I can't run the thing.
Well, especially this year, right? With the reversal. Get out of me.
Yeah, it's just easier to run if I can hit the picks right in a row and get back to work. So.
Makes sense.
Daniel, tell us your division. And look at that, you got another fan.
Oh, that's sweet. I am in the Boys to Men division, and
Woo!
I won
Boys to Men.
103.
Yeah, I had the 3 slot.
You took Kelsey, which crushed me.
Yeah,
he wasn't falling to me at 8, but I got Waller, second best, I guess.
I was hoping at 103. My whole idea was if I could get either Kelsey or Mahomes, I would be stoked. I didn't want to choose between CMC and the next top quarterback. For me, it was just easier for me to tier it that way. So I got lucky. I feel like that I got Kelsey.
When you got Kelsey at 3, I was like, oh, that's a phenomenal pick. So I'm right there with you, man.
Most important question. We know that everybody is out of the first round of their drafts. For people that see you tweet that out, they're like, yay, that's great relief. Verbalize it for people so they truly understand how it feels.
There's no words to verbalize that. I wish I could. It's just a huge weight off my shoulder. It's a constant stress ball until that happens. And I guess the best way to describe it is like when that gif of Michael Cera just getting into his house and falling down on the floor, like he can finally relax. That's kind of how it feels.
Oh, you've been quiet. Ask a question because I have my next one lined up. I want you to go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm tweeting right now, man. Go for it. Sorry.
So, middle of the show. I see how it is.
I'm literally over here like trying to tweet and like say I'm talking to everybody, all these cool people. So to get more people to watch.
To do that.
That's Jeff, but he's on the air tonight because my other co-host is out.
Oh, what you didn't realize that I already sent out like 3. So
I know.
On-air producers are the worst, though, man. They're just. Like,
oh man.
Well, the one at least
at least you're funny.
Boy. We also have enough ink to scare you away, so we have that nice visual curb appeal.
Absolutely.
So, Davis, I know because we're in the same division. You said in our group chat that your Austin Eckler pick wasn't necessarily your pick. What happened?
So I'm setting my queue on my phone, and I said it wrong. Like I clicked the names in. And I thought I had DeAndre Hopkins at the top. Well, Diggs at the top of my queue, DeAndre Hopkins, then Eckler, and apparently I had Eckler saved ahead, so I get the email that I made my pick. I'm like, well, I mean, it's not like I'm like, hating life that I got Austin Eckler at the 308, or 309 or whatever. Like, that works, that's fine. And it super ended up working out because got DeAndre Hopkins with the next pick anyways. Our league seems to be gobbling up the dead zone running backs in a way that I did not anticipate.
Yeah, that's why I waited, because everybody wanted to say, quarterbacks, which you saw, like the first throws are just straight quarterbacks. But like I took 2 of the first 3 receivers in our division. And it's just one of those, zig where people zag type of things. And Davis over here is just building stacks on stacks, and I'm just like, why is everybody sniping my people for my stacks? So, the fact that you fell, into DeAndre Hopkins, anyways,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So Scott, you can clarify this. So the person that won last year, from what I hear, went kind of quarterback receiver heavy. Like everybody goes running back heavy. Is that true?
I can't clarify that at all.
Oh, you don't know? Okay. I swear somebody, I heard it on SiriusXM.
I might have known 10 months ago or 6 months ago or whatever. At this point, my brain is kind of mush, and I don't remember his team very well.
I swear I heard somebody say that on XM or...
It's very possible. I'm sure someone dug into it. Someone dug into it.
Okay, Samantha, Aerosmith has a lot of relevant people. Has there been anything, whether it's from fans or from the either celebrities or analyst portion, that's really surprised you early on in your draft?
In my division?
Yeah.
Nothing's really jumped out at me. I mean, I think the only thing that I'm really happy with my team first and foremost. Last year I was so disappointed with my team, Scott. I was ashamed, felt unworthy to be in the league. It was such a terrible draft.
I weighed that. I thought about, should I let her come back this year because of it? And no, I would never think that. Sam, never.
I had the sweaty palms. I was just like, I think I even was one of the people from last year that was like, oh, A. Brown, yeah. Oh no, Antonio. People did. It was just all panic moves. So this year I'm much happier with my team. The one thing that I'm kind of bummed about is I didn't get Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I was trying to let him fall just one more round, and I should have gotten him where I knew it was. I felt like a little bit of a reach, but also you got to get your guy. So I'm kind of more mad at myself that I didn't get him because he went just the pick right before me, so that was upsetting. But I went kind of running back heavy early. With the 104, I went Dalvin Cook, and then I got Nick Chubb, and I was really excited to get that little running back Chubb.
So apparently I'm dead wrong. Thanks, Andrew. No, that's fine. I swear I heard they had all the top receivers or something. But you see the 4 receivers in a row, so it's possible they just got them late. But yeah, it's crazy. Scott, how do you decide randomly this year you're just oh, we're gonna add kickers because I know every year you want to add a new wrinkle, but I just want to ask I don't hate it. I love it. That's why we all love it. It's so different every year.
It just seemed there were a lot of people I respected in the industry that thought kickers were predictable and projectable and really wanted them in, and a lot of people that hated kickers, wanted to ban them. And this was a good compromise. It was being talked about a lot, so I
like it. I really do. I think they're going to be valuable. When you're reaching for, instead of reaching for that third running back on the Jets, you can go for a kicker instead. I don't know, like Daniel, like where do you value kickers?
Well, it's going to be tough because our draft is pretty slow right now.
I'm only in the fourth round, so I'm with you, man.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because I love the idea of being able to look at a kicker as somebody that can give me, I don't want to say a guaranteed floor, but something that I feel maybe a little bit more than a throw, a shot in the dark, late season wide receiver. So, from that standpoint, I think I would like to roster probably at least one, maybe two, but like that's a, play the waiver wire and have one on your roster at least for some flexibility there. It also helps. I can only imagine with the bye week game, like it'll just be, if you tell me I can get 11 points from a flex position on a bye 100%. Week, like plan me up for that.
100%. Davis, tell me, like, would you rather take especially, you're talking about these like third receivers or these fourth receivers or these backup running backs that you're hoping that their value comes from injuries, most likely. Would you rather take them, or would you rather take like a kicker from the Washington football team?
Well, keep in mind this is July 6th. Training camps don't even really open until July. I think the first. I know the Chiefs report July 27th. I will guarantee someone's going to get hurt. I will guarantee. Week 100%. 0 waiver wire, someone's going to get hurt. So every year in the Scott Fish Bowl, and really in any draft you're doing early, especially ones that, this is 22 rounds. If your last 4 picks are not guys who can immediately play more because someone got hurt, I think you're probably doing the roster construction wrong. So I know it's fun. I know that's the wet blanket answer. I'm not taking a kicker.
Everybody wants to go upside, but I get it. Yeah.
Okay, we'll get everybody out on this because obviously all of you are extremely busy. But one thing that matters with all 4 of you, at least in my opinion, is that you guys all have targets on your back because you are known, people in the fantasy industry. Is there anything, and again, anybody can answer at any point, I'd love all 4 of your opinions. Is there anything that has really surprised you, whether it's Scott Fishbowl or other leagues that you've been in, where people are essentially gunning for you and kind of how that's affected your draft or how things went for the league for that year?
Well, it made me some money last year because someone tried to bet against me, and my team was really good. Because the people who hate 0 running backs see your teams and they're like, you don't have any running back points. How are you going to win? So that was nice last year. Maybe someone else will get riled up this year.
Love it.
I think because I did so poorly last year, I didn't really have as big a target on my back this year. And I feel like everyone in the Aerosmith League has been really friendly. We've all just been very active in the chat and very cordial. Whereas before it's been, you're on the clock, why aren't you picking? And people going after each other in their mentions. And so everyone's been very cordial and nice.
They're friendly until they beat you.
Fun. We're just
or you beat them.
I plan on beating them, but
Yeah, that's what it should be.
Super nice, so I appreciate that.
I will answer as well, but Scott, I do want to know too, for somebody that this is your league, do you feel like people actually would, not do it? Does anyone ever want to just, take the L because it's, Scott Fish? But
so the reverse, they're not trying to beat me. They're just gonna give me an easy win. No, I don't think that's ever happened.
Good Lord. If I was in your league, Scott, you'd be done. I'd be gunning for you big time. Yeah, that'd be it.
I have not had anyone tank a game against me in this thing. They're usually pretty nice. Like Sam's division this year, mine's the same. Everybody's really nice. I have had years in past where there's been 1 or 2 people that you can tell they have a little extra motivation in their words. But
we actually have a guy, fantasy six-pack writer, Jeff Trella. He's in your division. He was on at the very first part of the show. So
sure.
Yeah, say hi to him in the chat for me, man. He's a good guy.
I'll do that.
I'll say this from me. I always feel like there is absolutely a target on my back because everyone wants to to just be able to point out the weeks that they beat you. It's like they take a screenshot of it, and then later on, it's like, I'm going to send this to you to remind you of the humiliation that you should feel. But fantasy is a sport, man. Like it's unpredictable across the board. We all know that, and so it's I've beat people, I've lost to people. It's every week is its own week, and it's a whole new challenge. So the one thing I will say, and Joe, I know you and I had talked about this a little bit earlier, but you can just sit here. Is sorry.
It's all good.
Is I donated to the what is it that we're doing right now, to the Fantasy Six Pack? Yep. And MS. You and I had talked about it because my uncle has MS and has dealt with it for a number of years, and it's been a thing for him. So
saw your donation, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. And at the same time, I want to say for every win that I get this year in Scott Fishbowl, I'm going to donate another $20 with a minimum of at least 9 wins. Either that, or if I have more than 9 losses, I'm still going to donate a minimum of 9 wins.
Dude, I appreciate that, man. I will keep it open just for that. I was going to close it, about a week from now, but I will keep it open just for that. That's fantastic.
I appreciate that, man. And, I'm not saying anything, but if it's money to go to help ending MS, if anyone in the league does feel like it's the right thing to do to take the L when they play against me, I totally understand, and it's not a big deal. It's just about priorities.
Scott, so we know why Daniel got to the playoffs. I get it, man. I love it, and we're up to $836. We were only at $450 last year, so this is already fantastic. I love it. Nothing like the Fantasy Cares, guys. Like you guys crush this, but
hey, that's inspiration.
This is awesome. Well, I keep going. Scott. Like you literally were the inspiration of me doing this show. So I appreciate you coming on and supporting it. I know that from personal stories that you've told me that this is a big thing for you too. So I do appreciate you coming on and supporting it. I'm hoping this gets bigger and bigger and bigger, every year. So.
All right, Scott, Samantha, Davis, Daniel, seriously, thank you for your time. Very much appreciated. Davis, please don't take any players I want. That'd be great.
I'll do my best.
Daniel, you too, babe.
If you want running back.
Boys and men, brother.
All right, guys,
we're all
enjoy
friends.
the rest of the draft. Scott, nothing but the best going forward for the rest of the draft in the season. Thank you again.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right. As we move on from a huge crew of people here, we have
that was awesome.
First thing he logged
that was fun, man.
I knew exactly who it was. Ian Hart of Focus.
Yeah.
Tate.
What is
and
up,
then
man?
2 people that I have the distinguished honor of working with as well. We have Sal and Andrew from 4for4.com. Gentlemen, trio, thank you so much for joining us. How are you guys doing tonight?
What's up, guys?
Doing good.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, for people that don't know, we'll go Ian, Sal, Andrew. Tell us division and where you're picking.
Lady Gaga, I am at pick number 2. Managed to come away with Christian McCaffrey.
Nice.
All right.
Hard to be angry about that pick, right?
I just want to know, Ian, how much does Aiden Tate cost right now? Why are you trying to get him for free?
So here's the bad part about this. My underdog username is Free Duke Johnson, and now he actually is free. And
man. Isn't Auden Tate free too?
So if he gets cut, if Auden Tate gets cut, I got to stop with this free whoever nonsense.
Are you saying free because you want them to be cut at this point? This keeps on being happening.
To be good.
I know, I get it. I'm
He
kidding.
is good. I want him to get opportunity, but I mean,
I'm kidding.
No, should he be out of any of those guys in Cincy? No, but you can imagine.
Based on your track record, can you do free Trevor Lawrence next?
Somebody's not a Jaguars fan.
No.
We need Gardner back as QB1.
Yeah. Gardner Minshew is his boy. So, all right. So tell us.
Gotcha.
Keep going and stop derailing us already. Tell us your division and pick.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I keep derailing you with all these dumb questions, I don't have to provide any serious analysis.
But you see, that's true. That's why our 4-minute show on 4 for 4 usually takes 9 minutes. So.
That's why it's redone.
Jeff calling you out.
Oh no, we joked about it before I went on one time. But go ahead, Sal.
Yeah. So, question: Bon Jovi division, picking from the 112.
All right, Andrew, please tell us where you're located.
I am in the Spinal Tap division, picking from the 110.
All right, you gotta bring your mic a little bit closer.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, hello, there it is. Yeah. Okay, so I guess the big thing is, what's been the biggest surprise? Doesn't matter what round. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk on Twitter, just through other mediums, just the variety early in the first. But what's one pick or maybe a couple of roster constructions that surprised you guys so far?
I'll say for my division particularly, I'm surprised at how little quarterbacks have been valued, because pretty much every year that I've been doing Scott Fish that's been Superflex, like I've been in like every QB heavy room imaginable, but somehow this one only had like 7 quarterbacks in the first 2 rounds, where I've seen like 13, 15, 16, even 20 quarterbacks go. So I was just like stunned at how much no one cares about quarterbacks in the Bon Jovi division.
That's probably the biggest surprise that we've heard about so far.
Definitely is.
Yeah, it's definitely something to worry about. The whole kicker nonsense, I think, is a good way to weed out, the real marks of this industry and whatnot.
Oh, geez.
Imagine going for a first-place prize in a tournament this big and using one of your precious draft picks on a kicker in July. Could not be me. I am not drafting a single kicker out of a foreign protest. You can quote me on that. It's not happening.
Yeah, because that's because you're too busy drafting Auden Tate. Like, who's going to score more fantasy points?
He's going to have Auden Tate added 5 times specifically in his division.
Hey, pal, Auden Tate's a top 2, number 4 wide receiver in the NFL. With all due respect to Tim Patrick, of course.
Wow. Andrew, how about yourself?
I'll tell you, man, I kind of figured on a decent quarterback run going, but when Dalvin Cook was there at 110, I was just like running around in circles. I didn't know what to do with myself, because there was no prepping for Dalvin Cook at the 110. Like, if you buy that he's the number 2 projected back, like, I wasn't even in my headspace for that as an option. So, yeah, I was wildly indecisive on that pick.
No, I think Jesus, Sal. Dalvin Cook is actually an interesting case point, because I know his reduced ADP last year was because of contract talks. Because I got him at 112 when it seemed running back heavy more last year than this year, and he didn't even go. I know in my division, he went 7th, so that's a little bit higher. But I've seen him fall into the second round for a lot of people and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, it wasn't insane, but because I was basically like, okay, I'll probably get Herbert or, Russ, trying to decide between the two. And then with him being in the mix too, I was like, I spent way more time on that pick than anyone should ever spend trying to figure that out, and literally had my 5-year-old son gave him 2 names and was like, which name do you like better?
I've definitely done that before. My daughter picked the first 2 or 3 divisions I was ever in, because she was like 3 and 4 and 5. So I got Elsa the very first year I was in it, which was Disney characters. And so yeah, of course. I was like, which division do you want me to be in? She was like, Elsa. And I was like, yeah, all right.
But what was extra weird is 5 quarterbacks and 2 tight ends went with the first 7 picks. And so
sounds beautiful.
McCaffrey went at 108, which is absurd. And then I went Dalvin 100%, like, okay, I'm giving up Russ. I'm giving up Herbert. And then the turn went RB, TE, and then back to me. So I got Russ at 2.
God, I'm so jealous.
That's nice.
So I'm so jealous, man. That's like the mock I was in. I didn't get the alert, so I auto drafted Dalvin Cook at 1-8. Came back around and I got Herbert, and I was like, this would be fantastic. Never going to happen. Wilson actually went after me in that. But, like, it's kind of the same thing with you. Like, that's totally crazy. Like, it shouldn't happen in this style. And it doesn't happen in most cases, but it happened for you. That's fantastic.
All right, we'll start with Ian on this. Oh, sorry, Andrew.
No, that's it.
We'll start with Ian on this question here. I know there's always the thought of going with a strategy, especially when you're trying to do it like a GVP style, season-long league like this. But with strategy in mind, how did what you wanted to at least attempt to start, how has that changed now that whether you're 3 picks in or like 12 picks in? How's that really changed for you?
I'm 4 picks in, and I'm doing the anchor RBs, what the kids are calling it these days. I think that's what we're.
Can we set it on that name?
I got
Where's Jen Paulson when you need him?
We're just rolling with that one. So I got CMC, and then I got Tyreek, and then I got Devontae Adams. So I'm taking a leap there. I'm saying that, hey, if I got this dude at the end of the 3rd round, and hopefully Aaron Rodgers come back. I don't know if you guys saw his interview, but I saw a little twinkle in his eye, guys. I mean, that does not look like someone that's not going to be there.
That's like
we'll see
10 years younger than him. That's why.
And I mean, even if Javonte doesn't, I mean, okay, I probably won't take first if Rodgers doesn't return, but he's not going to kill your team. You still be a wide receiver 1 with or without him. And then the biggest issue I've had was decided between Baker and Trey Lance, because QBs were starting to ride off the board. And I'm pretty in on Baker this year. I wanted to get Trey Lance, and I was really tempted to with the GPP, but that's a good, 5-spot difference in my ranks. I do believe in Baker a lot too. We've at least seen Baker be a high-end fantasy quarterback at the NFL level. I'm a believer in Lance. It was close. It was tough, but that was the one I had to struggle with the most. And I'm looking right now. Yeah, he ended up going about a full 10, 12 picks later. So I don't know. It is what it is.
Sal, how about you?
Well, I was going to say, this is why I love Ian so much, is he's watching Aaron Rodgers videos, looking for twinkles in his eyes, like he's studying the Zapruder film. Like, we're going to be playing in twinkly eyes per points leagues pretty soon. It's pretty crazy.
Analytics, man. You got to look at him.
He does work for PFF, remember.
Grading the eyes now.
Honestly, my strategy going into it, I've executed it to 100% of what I wanted it to be. So I feel like that's a bad sign off the bat that everything I wanted out of my draft is actually happening, which is I picked the 112 spot so I could get those first 3 picks within the first 25. And I just wanted 2 tight ends and a quarterback. And that's exactly what happened. I got Kittle, I got Waller, I got Jalen Hurts. I feel like I don't need to draft anybody else for the rest of this SMB 11. I'm set.
There you go. Are you worried at all with Hurts, like in his inefficiency, like with the incompletion negatives and stuff like that? The incompletion negatives is what I meant to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
are you worried about it?
No, I'm not worried about it because I'm bad at fantasy football, and I just want to root for the players.
I mean, what are you here for then? God!
I don't know. I just love. He's the one that booked me.
Jeff, what the hell? I'm kidding.
Imagine Sal and Andrew appreciate this. Imagine not liking Sal, and just in general.
Totally effing with him,
but it's a little bit more insidey, unfortunately. Before
like I actually did study some data and projections and whatnot. Yeah. Like I either wanted quarterbacks with high completion percentages or elite rushing floors, and so I went with the latter in Jalen Hurts because. Not only do you get that elite rushing production, but he's just more fun to watch than like I know everyone says draft Matt Ryan, draft Kirk Cousins. They're going to produce an SMB, but they're boring as fuck to watch in this format. I just don't want those guys on my team. I want the Jalen Hurtses. I want those guys that have that high volatility because they're just more fun to root for.
Yeah, I took Hurts in my mock. Granted, it was 4th round, which seemed kind of crazy. Like he never falls to the 4th in any real league that I've seen. But yeah, I do like his upside. I do worry a little bit about the efficiency, which could bring his rushing total down. So that's the only worry I've got about him.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I would be worried about it, but I know I'm not going to win SFB 11. So I just want to.
Hey, never say never. But I get it.
I kind of feel both of you. I came back to the 3rd round reversal, and I had Hurts and Rodgers, and felt like ridiculously Hurts was safer with no question about him actually playing. but I was like, I have to go Rodgers here with the upside of him,
That's a risky one for me. That's even more riskier than Hurts, in my opinion.
Well, can I ask? Oh, sorry, Andrew, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was like, back and forth, but I was like, at this point, if I'm going to go upside, if I'm also looking at the playoffs and looking at those schedules, not too heavily, but at least a little bit, I think, what is let me see, Hurts has, he's got a week 14 bye, then Washington,
yeah, that's brutal.
Then the Giants, then Washington again, while Rodgers has Chicago, Baltimore, Cleveland, and Minnesota. And I don't want to over focus, but last year I didn't focus on the playoffs enough, and so I was like, all right, I got to have that at least as a layer here. So that was kind of like my thought. But yeah, I've never cared. TJ was making fun of me on Twitter because I was like, I've never cared more about hearing that Aaron Rodgers re-upped his country club membership in give me something, man.
Well, I expect that type of analysis from Ian, not you, Andrew.
Okay, last question, and I know, Ian, you technically work on the fantasy side of PFF, but how many times a day in your mentions do people come at you for not just watching the game or anything that PFF has dealt with for essentially the last decade since they started and become more relevant and more prevalent for people that watch football?
I don't get that, man. I do a good job of that. The thing is, man, I got my Sunday podcast. I talk about every game that happens. I make my way to watch every game. So I crossed that one off my list, and I said, bullshit, you cannot put that on me. I might have been wrong, but I did watch that game, and I put out a lot of these I say sheesh a lot, but the one kind of method of madness is sheesh alerts, which are Brandon Cooks or whoever breaks wide open downfield and he gets overthrown. So I think, one of the more, I feel like the two things that it happens to everyone at some point or the other, oftentimes, a ton of times, but if you mess up an injury, you don't know someone's injured, or if you say oh, that guy had a shitty game, he had 20 yards and okay, he was wide open twice and his quarterback missed him. Mm-hmm. Those are kind of the things that, if you have the time, which I'm blessed enough to be working, full-time in the industry, so I have the time to waste, 40 minutes and all these condensed games every Sunday and all that, but just trying to keep up with that because I figure if I can do that, do my homework there, it covers my tracks a little bit more. I just wish, and I get plenty of trolls, plenty of haters, I just wish they would come around Sunday morning instead of Sunday at 4 p.m. after the game's already over. If you call it out and you're right, then fair play to you. But don't be coming out after the players get confirmed.
They only want to call us out, man. That's all it is. I get it. I get tons of those. But I want to thank you guys all for coming on. It's been a ton of fun, and we got the next crew coming on. But I do want to remind everybody before you guys leave that the big reason why we're doing this is to get together to raise money for MS. So please donate to msfantasysixpack.net/donate. It'll go to me, and then I'm throwing everything I get over to the Multiple Sclerosis Society. It's something near and dear to my heart, obviously, because I was diagnosed with it in 2013. So I looking for a cure, and I know a lot of other people apparently through other parties that are looking for the same thing. So big thing for me, so I appreciate you guys coming on, and good luck in Scott Fishbowl until you get to the finals with me, guys.
Oh, jeez. I appreciate you. Thanks.
All right. Joe, do you mind to make you disappear real quick?
Yeah. I need 2 minutes. Sorry. Okay. I need to pull a Sal from the Potathon.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, see, look at that. I can do that to Joe whenever I want. That's great about being a producer. So, our final crew of the night. At least 2 of them are here, and Piers one is literally there in spirit. I'll bring on the first 2. We have Davis Peng and Bob Van Duzer from Fantasy Six Pack. We figured it only makes sense to have the show bookended with F6P guys. So, Davis, Bob, thank you for joining us. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing great. As you can see, my cat is also lounging and watching too.
Let's go. Bob, how about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to talk some Scott Fishbowl.
All right. Well, it appears that our spirit now has a body appearing here. So let's bring in Michael Pant as well, too, from Fantasy Six Pack. Mike, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, before we go into any sort of other talk, tell us your division and where you guys are picking at.
I am in the police division, and I am pick number 10.
I'm in the Johnny Cash division, and I am pick number 8.
I am in the Nickelback division, and I am pick number 6.
Nickelback
division. Okay, no, honestly, because I know this was a big discussion in our Slack channel. Are you like a serious fan? Do you enjoy some of the music, or are you just trying to rile everybody up because you want to rile everybody up?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a big music fan, so yes, I am a fan of them. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they do have some good hits. And in all honesty, it wasn't my first choice.
Same. Mine wasn't my first choice either. So
yeah, my first choice was AC/DC for sure.
I'm sure that was really popular, but one thing that's kind of first of all, because it changes every year for us. How many of you guys have never been in Scott Fishbowl?
I've never been.
Not
once. So same as we started the show, we end with people that have never been in it. So what's one piece of advice that each of you took from anybody, whether it's from the hashtag SFB11 on Twitter or from our Slack channel? What is a piece of advice you guys have taken into the first few rounds of your draft?
For me in particular, someone that didn't do any mocks or any of this stuff, I listened to my channel, right? I got invited to my channel like instantaneously the minute I put up SFB, whatever, and my channel found out what pick I was and what division I was before I did. That's how active they were, and they dragged me into it. They're like, Davis, get over here, man, and I'm like, and they're like, boom, and shoved up a bunch of data in my face, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I started scrolling. That would be what I recommend. Like, don't push out the community. Jump in and embrace it, because that's what the whole point of the Scott Fishbowl is.
All right, Bob, how about you?
Yeah, so I did a couple mocks, did one over on the Dynasty Rewind YouTube channel, and what I noticed, make sure you're putting an emphasis on quarterbacks and tight ends, quarterbacks especially with the format being so heavy on good quarterbacks with high completion percentage. If you can get ones with high completion percentage that can also run, obviously put an emphasis on those. So, and that's what I did in my draft so far. I'm only 4 rounds in, but that was probably the biggest emphasis for me going into this one.
I was kind of told the same thing. Big emphasis on QBs and tight ends, especially because of the weird scoring format with the incompletions and the tight end premium. But one other thing I was told was definitely get into a lot of mock drafts if you had the opportunity. Although none of those mocks has gone anyway.
The mocks are never happening the way you think.
So that piece of advice, scratch that.
Yeah, I've done numerous mocks over the years. I've been in for about 5-6 years now. The mocks never work the way you do it. Like, they're not normal. The only reason why I do the mocks is just because, like, it's freaking July, like, 4th or 3rd, like, usually, when these drafts start. And it's like, I'm doing analysis and things like that, but I haven't been drafting a ton by the time these come through. So it's almost like I almost need to be reminded of, like, the player pool and, like, how these things are going to fall through. And that's the only reason why I do the mocks. It's just to kind of get back into the flow of drafting, because I haven't done any drafts. It's July. Early July. Super early July. So, yeah. I feel you, Mike.
You should see the best ball community, man. We've been drafting like hundreds and hundreds of teams by the time Scott Fishbowl.
Best ball's totally different, though, man. Like, you can't apply your best. Like, right? I mean, Davis. Yeah. Perfect example. Like, you've done tons of best ball, right? And you've been drafting since, like, what? I mean, April. Before that. I mean, like,
before the NFL draft,
you've mentally drafted.
Can you apply any of the knowledge that you've gained from those to Scott Fishbowl?
From actual drafting, no.
All right. So there you go. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. All it does is, I will say the one thing that does help is kind of gets you into the rhythm of drafting, roster construction, because that is a thing you do continually when you draft.
Mm-hmm.
And also kind of just keeps you in the loop of like analysis more, because we have to actively draft and know our players much sooner than some other people do, right? Like, some people stop studying all offseason, but unlike the rest of us who got stuck in best ball, we're literally having to restudy everything.
Stuck in best ball.
Yeah.
Isn't that your own fault?
Yeah. Stuck in best ball mode, you're like just sitting there like studying all these little stupid things until the entire way through. So I would say like knowledge-wise is helpful.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with that point, Davis, especially with, if anything, I don't think you can apply the same draft strategy, but I think just getting into the rhythm of drafting, learning how to pivot, on the fly, just being, kind of 3 steps ahead if you can be. Obviously, it's a slow draft, so you don't have to be like super quick with it all the time. But I think just being in that draft mindset helps a lot for me, at least personally.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody in a Scott Fishbowl draft right now thinks like Josh Jacobs is like a round 2 guy still, right? Even though he's going like round 5, round 6 everywhere else, that kind of situation.
Bob, you said you were pick 8, right?
Yep.
And you also took Waller.
Yep.
Who did you pass up for Waller?
I was the only other person I was really looking at there was either going to be Justin Herbert or Tom Brady. Were the 2 I was kind of looking at. I took Justin Herbert in my mock draft that I did.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I don't know. I made the pick and I didn't really feel that great about it for whatever reason. Like, I think Justin Herbert's going to have an awesome year, but something with my gut didn't sit right. But so I wanted to go Waller. I wanted to get in the tight end game early, which in my draft, tight ends actually have not been. I'm 4 full rounds deep, and only 4 tight ends have been drafted, which to me seems kind of nuts.
The same way, actually. Hawkinson went 2 picks before me, and I took or a pick before me, and I took DK. So yeah, I mean, I get it, but yeah, I mean, once you don't get those, if you don't get those like top 2, maybe 3 with Kittle, I feel like you just don't care. Like, and you shouldn't, and so people shouldn't overvalue the tight ends, even with the better, the tight end heavy scoring, tight end premium scoring.
I think Hawkinson has a bit of value considering where you could get him. I think
he
you're
went
getting him at like 410, 5'1".
He went 4'6".
That's fine because
so that's okay. I still worry, like
that's exactly where I took him actually.
Yeah.
I still worry about Hawk a little bit. Like, I know, but he's like the last of the group, I feel like. After that, it's like even Andrews. Andrews, the only reason why you're getting Andrews is because touchdowns.
Yeah.
You're talking about touchdown upside, and that's something that's so hard to predict.
You also got to remember too, like, he's one of the few tight ends that's the number 1 target. Like, going into every Sunday, where's Lamar Jackson going to throw? It's going to be Mark Andrews first and everybody else later.
We hope it is now. Like, you hope it's not Bateman now, right?
Oh, there's no dang way. No.
I hope not. But at the same time, though, still, like, how much do you want to trust touchdown upside? We've seen year in year and year out, like, where touchdown efficiency just, it goes up and down. And so, especially at a tight end, if you're going to take a guy that high, like you do Waller and Kelsey, you need volume, in my opinion,
And Mark Andrews has that volume, because one thing you just described, is the number 1 target on their team is a tight end. And that's exactly where he falls in. He is not necessarily Kelsey or Waller, and we don't even know if Waller can keep this up for more than 1 year. We may have seen the best of what he can do. At least with Mark Andrews, as long as he's healthy, that more often than not, he's getting the most targets every game from that team. And that's why, at least in this format, it kind of matters that he falls into more like your tight end 3 to 5 range. realistically, he may even fall to 6 because, there's other athletic potential with like a Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goedert, and even if you want to talk, if you want to reach for like Tyler Higbee because, one tight end system is better with what the Rams have than when they were running 2 tight ends before. But I guess we have to bring on this other person.
I agree.
Oh my God! No, we don't need to. We'll wait. We'll make him wait. You did it already.
The clean-shaven AJ Applegarth.
Holy cow! What's happening here?
AJ, are you
in the Aerosmith division over there with the guitar?
I'm just bringing in the theme of the bowl here.
Bringing in the rear. Are you bringing in the rear? Just for what's happening?
Sure.
Yeah.
Turning it up to 11 here, right?
Oh boy! All right, AJ. Since you are the latest one to enter, tell everybody what division you're in and what spot you're picking from.
I am at the 1-8 as well, and I am in the Janice Joplin. Crazy 8s.
And how's the draft going from perception to reality for you?
Very much.
I mean, I guess pretty dead on. I don't know. It's the third time I've done this, and I've had horrible showings the first 2 years. So
well, I mean, granted, yeah,
your team died last year.
Yeah.
Thanks to AJ, I drafted Matt Stafford, and I fucking died.
Thanks to you,
it's all your fault. You talked me into it, man. Screw that. You talked me into it. I blame you completely.
Shocker.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I'm I'm happy with my team so far. I've got 3, maybe 4 picks. No, I do have 4. I went Waller.
I'm the same way.
I went Chubb, and then I went. I decided to stick with running back because.
Oh, good news! My pick just came up.
My third pick. We got a live pick. I love it. I love these. Let's do it.
I got my third.
AJ,
pick.
Hurry up. Let's do it. AJ, hurry up.
All right,
let's move on to the live
pick.
Is
Sausage Egg McLaurin.
Oh,
Sausage Egg McLaurin. I love it.
Get McLaurin in the 4th. That's interesting because he was actually available in the 6th in my draft.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he's gonna be going late, and he's not even done in mine. Like I've got like the 6th.
That's interesting. Okay, Davis, refresh people where your roster's at and who are your like top 3 guys you're considering at this moment.
All right, so I am pick 303. My celebrity just picked after like 7 hours, but he got there.
Oh, is it the Friday Night Lights guy? I like him, man.
Yeah, Scott Porter. He got in our chat, and he actually
is he in your chat, dude?
In our chat.
Ask him to come on.
But
it's okay.
Get out of here. A little late for that.
Yeah, it's a little late for that now, but it would have been awesome. I'm a big fan of that show. Big fan of that show.
He was on Madden, actually. I didn't even notice that until I looked at him. I was like, oh, crap, I threw to him in Madden. He's the guy from
Madden?
He's in Madden. He's the wide receiver long shot, Colt Cruz.
Well, I haven't played Madden in like I haven't played Madden in like 4 years.
Oh, man.
If not longer, so yeah. No, that's cool. All right. Anyway,
so,
go.
So running backs I have on board are Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon. Those are the only 2 I'm considering from that group.
Okay.
QB.
Wait. What pick are you?
303 right now. Pick 10.
Oh, okay.
I have Dalvin Cook and I have Ryan Tannehill, which I regret now grabbing Justin Herbert, but I trust Tannehill not to get sacked that much.
No, I do like Tannehill.
Efficiency is going to be more important for
Tannehill's a little safer than Herbert. Like Herbert's the upside play. I get it, but anyway,
it's a little bit of regret, not a ton. QBs on the board. There's nobody here that I really want to target this early. We're talking about Kirk Cousins, Jalen Hurts, Matt Ryan, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield. I feel like I could skip these.
Mm-hmm.
And then the wide receivers. I know people don't really grab wide receiver at 3, but I got Devontae Adams, Diggs, I got all of them. I have all the big guys on there, besides Tyreek Hill. Like every receiver's on the board. Tight ends. Kyle Pitts is on there. Mark Andrew.
This is pick 4 for you?
Pick 3 for me.
Pick 3 for you.
I think this is a running back pickup.
I mean, it depends on how you have it, even because you clearly have almost like the full like tier 1 of wide receivers, and it's just whether or not you think those two running backs either end and start a tier or completely end or completely open a tier for you. So, but like,
yeah,
I mean, Austin Eckler, we kind of know his role, and Joe Mixon.
I love Eckler, dude. I'd go Eckler.
Joe hates Mixon.
I know. I fucking despise Mixon. I'd go Eckler in a heartbeat here.
I would go Eckler, but I get.
I love it. I love the Eckler pick. I had to pick Eckler earlier than you, so this is golden for you.
Yeah, that is a solid pick at that spot.
Bob, what do you think?
If you want, looking at my draft at the 3-3, it was the same deal. The only wide receiver off the board was Tyreek Hill. The wide receivers that went were Diggs, Hopkins, Adams, Brown, Ridley, Metcalf, and Thomas. By the time it gets back,
can't trust ADP.
So I'm just saying that
I know
if it plays the same, I would assume it kind of plays the same.
Well, just to go the opposite end, Bob. After I took Tyreek Hill in the second round, only Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, and
people slam running backs more than anything else in this league. It's been the first 3 or 4 rounds. So
yeah, and I think it's a running back pick.
I think it's a running back pick. You gotta go Eckler, man. Eckler has that receiver upside, first down upside. It's fantastic, man. It's a good pick. You got him a lot later than I did.
Eckler, it is. Eckler's in. My league will be
awesome.
Happy that the pick got done fast.
Sweet.
Love you guys.
All right, let me see if I'm close to being up here.
Oh no! Do we care?
Oh wow!
Do you?
Hey, man.
Apparently not.
I don't know. Do we care?
Depends who's there, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I'm still like 2.
So, what's the weirdest pick that you guys like the weirdest pick that you guys have seen in your draft so far? Mike, you start.
Oof. Probably the weirdest one. Travis Kelce falling to the 109.
Whoa! Yeah. What?
And I attributed to that.
Oh, you're
damn! How the hell did you attribute to that? Dude, if he falls to me after 1-1, I'm done. I'm snatching him up.
Oh, I had contemplated the whole time. I'm like,
oh my god, who did you say?
Time.
What pick were you? 1-8?
I'm gonna let it build up. 1-6. I'm gonna let it build up. The whole time I contemplated Travis Kelce. I mean, the whole like if he got to me, I was taking him. I was set.
Oh my god, yeah.
106 comes around. And Kyler Murray's sitting there. I had no intention of
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You take Kelce. Kelce's so good.
QB1, I will outscore the potential of a tight end 1, which he will finish.
Okay. All right. Davis.
I don't hate that.
Davis. I hated myself a little bit.
Davis, what was the weirdest pick in your draft? Doesn't have to be the first round, obviously.
I haven't paid attention to what my league mates are taking as much.
David doesn't care.
I care about who I can
Thanks,
get.
Dylan.
Yep. But as far as I know, I think Kelce went 102 in ours.
Mine went 103. That's why I had to take. That's why I take Waller at 1-8. Same as Bob.
He went before Mahomes to mine.
Fantasy unicorn fringe.
Because we're in the smart division, and it sucks when you're in the division when people that care.
She took him though, 102. That was probably the one that surprised me.
Phenomenal. Okay. AJ, anything interesting about your division so far?
I mean, Kelce went 102 in mine as well.
That's
before Mahomes.
That's not interesting.
So I thought that was sort of interesting.
That's fine though. Oh wait, what? CMC, Mahomes, and then Kelce?
No, CMC, Kelce, Mahomes.
Oh yeah. All right, that's what I meant. All right.
I guess the mock that I was in went super quarterback heavy in the first round. And actually, my regular league kind of did the same. Aside from Cook going on the 6, Saquon went right after I took Waller. So that was it, and everybody else was Kelsey or quarterbacks or CMC. So that was, I guess, kind of chalk. Not a lot interesting. I mean, there's still. I'll say what is interesting is that they're still including me, if I can get to the damn grid.
They're still including me.
There's still two.
I'm not kicked out yet.
It's me and the guy after me are the only two people left that do not have a quarterback drafted yet, and we're into the 5th round now.
I'm looking at my draft. We have 104 Tom Brady. I think that'd probably be the weirdest one.
Wait, what? 1-4?
104 Tom Brady.
Whoa.
It's a little early.
So I do know that Odell Beckham went somewhere in the 2nd round.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like
2014.
Yeah.
Why?
2014.
2014, is that what he did?
No, it's fucking Scott Fishbowl. He went like, and I only because I was listening to the Podathon, I was trying to listen to them, and yeah, totally great. That's just nuts, man. Like, you can like a player, but holy crap, like, you don't need to overdraft the player. You can wait 2 rounds, and then, I mean, Odell Beckham's going in like the 10th round in most leagues. Fine, take him in the 8th round if you really like him. Don't take him in the 2nd. Like, what? This is stupid.
Fans, man. They're totally zagging when everybody else is zigging. I mean, that's
like
they're zagging and zagging. They're zagging multiple times. How about
like
that?
a drunken zag.
It's
a DUI.
Who said the DUI? Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
That's just stupid. But anyway, I don't know.
I know I'm not gonna end up last at least.
Yeah, I don't know. Be careful. AJ almost finished last the other year because all his quarterbacks got hurt.
Oh yeah, that's just bad luck though.
Yeah, it was totally bad luck. Nothing you can do about it.
Absolute terrible.
I think that's why Scott puts you back on, because he feels sorry for you.
Probably. It's like, all right.
He's like, I feel bad for this guy.
Because everybody's happy to have you in their league.
Oh, wait. They can get a couple wins out of you. Yeah!
You take that pity and run with it.
Yeah.
100%. Yep. We're good.
Absolutely. But no, I mean, AJ Brown went after McLaurin.
AJ Brown went after McLaurin? What?
I don't want Brown, dude. I want nothing to do with Brown this year.
Not.
I can agree to that.
Because
I agree, Garth, on that
one.
Julio
last year.
I love AJ Brown way more than McLaurin.
I think as a player, I agree, but I think for the first down portion of it, I think that could make a difference. I don't know if like AJ Brown catches anything that's under 40 yards. Like either he's going to the house or he's not. It's always one of the two.
What does McLaurin do much more than that?
He kind of does. He's been catching. He catches a lot of routes.
McLaurin has.
But he got Fitz now, who only likes to throw 40-yard passes.
Fair enough too.
That's fine.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Still a first down and good yardage.
But that makes a I'd rather have a more consistent, efficient quarterback throwing to a good receiver than Fitzpatrick, who the fuck knows really at this point what kind of quarterback he's just a fantasy gamble at this point. Hey, throwing to my receiver.
I don't know. I like Fitz upside this year. I've always been a Fitz fan, clearly from being in the beer club up until today.
And I think didn't like Brown come into this season like injured a little bit with like surgeries and whatnot. I feel like that's a toss up too.
Yeah, I mean Keenan Allen's got a whole new coaching scheme to work with. Yeah. Obviously, he's still the favorite target for Herbert. So I think he'd be fine. Robinson had him last year, and he burned me. So
he did fine for the. Well, I mean, somewhat.
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, he was good. He was good overall, but the rest of my team kind of sucked in general. So he wasn't enough to carry it. Thanks, Stafford and Galladay. Oh, and Marvin Jones. So yeah, it was a lot of NFC North heavy last year, and it did not help me.
I'm telling you now, though, I'm gonna try to get Michael Thomas because no one likes him right now, and it's always good. I love that people hate him. I love that people hate him right now.
Yeah,
I hate him, but he's good.
I was kind of hoping that either Jefferson or Metcalf would have fallen to me. I would have grabbed one of them potentially. I would have grabbed one of them ahead of McLaurin.
So the question for you there:
gone quarterback.
Are you not scared of Justin Jefferson reproducing? I mean, for me, I had him last year, best ball fucking god for me all day.
Yeah.
But the defense was terrible last year, and
True.
Teams didn't expect Jefferson to do Jefferson things, right? Didn't expect him to set a record. I mean, doesn't that kind of scare you over like taking Metcalf? Like, if I had to pick between the two, I would take Metcalf almost every single time.
I would
because of production.
Yeah, if I had to pick between the two, it would have been Metcalf first. Then,
and I don't even know if I would be okay taking Jefferson over like AJ Brown or like Terry McLaurin. Like at this point, it just scares me that it might be a one-hit wonder record setting. I mean, but like sure, he's a 1,200-yard guy probably, but
well, yeah, and Cousins is obviously another year older. I mean, he's safe, but he's not. He's not going to get a ton of attempts because it's a run first offense. Yeah. So, Cook
there's a lot of quarterbacks like that though in that range, and so it's funny because that's
probably who I'll end up getting stuck with. But I'm
it's funny because like there's a there was a huge debate in our chat just a few hours ago between. Should I take Tom Brady or Tannehill?
Oh, yeah.
And if you look at their point totals, it's like, they're so close. And Tannehill is actually higher. The reason why you go for Brady is because you think the efficiency is higher, and you
might not take any sacks either. I mean, that O-line's
well, essentially, all that stuff. So, but then at the same time, like, it's just hard. Like, I get it. It's hard to pick these guys who won't be as efficient, especially in this format. So it's tough, man, and that's why I took Brady. Tannehill relies on like super efficiency and low totals of low totals for what am I trying to think of?
We've been wondering the last 5 minutes.
No, it's low totals for
low T. Joe is doing a commercial here for low T.
But anyway,
low pass attempts. I'm assuming that's the case.
Thank you. Low pass attempts. Thank you. That's what I was saying. Low pass attempts. That's exactly what I meant. So low pass attempts, right? Like
totally.
Tom Brady threw for like 200 more pass attempts than freaking Tannehill. So I was like, yeah, that was the overall reason why I took Brady over Tannehill.
And that might be the case still with Giovanni Bernard, etc. Like I don't discount that. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. And he doesn't get sacked that often either. And I think I looked at a lot of QBs and I was just like, is this dude gonna get hit like 4 times and I lose 4 points? I was in the Scott Fishbowl channel last year. I remember it went negative in our Slack chat because his QB got like destroyed in one game.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, that's a problem. You don't forget stories like that.
We were looking at one of the stats was there's only like 2 or 3 quarterbacks that didn't have a negative game based on the scoring setup for last year. Like, well, that's still this year, but going into last year from the year before. And I think it was Mahomes, and I don't think Stafford was one of them, but he might have been close. where his negative game wasn't like super
truly
negative.
It was like more just not
negative
rostering
2
somebody
or something. I was like, okay, something you could make up with a tight end first down catch. But still, it was crazy. Oh, maybe it was Breeze because he was really
hurt. So yeah,
favored last year. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it didn't matter at that point.
All right, guys. Well, I think we gave you guys the longest. We gotta rep the home team here. But I want to thank all of you for coming on. Obviously, as we wrap up tonight, just want to remind people to donate to our cause. If you look on the bottom as it scrolls by now, you go to fantasy6pack.net/donate to help us raise money in the fight against multiple sclerosis. Davis, Bob, Mike, AJ, let people know where they can find you and what you have coming up for this season for Fantasy Six Pack and what you're also working on as we speak.
You guys can find me at Fantasy Six Packs, at Articles for Best Ball, or at Peng's Picks FF on Twitter. I am currently writing more best ball articles for the new tournament, The Puppy, that just released, I would say this week, actually.
Yeah, it was this week.
And ADP changes, things like that, and my last pieces of my underrated, overrated positions for tight end.
All right, you can find me at BobVan_IDP on Twitter. Pretty much handling all the IDP work over at fantasy6pack.net. You can find all my written word there. I do a lot on the Dynasty Rewind YouTube channel. Other than that, Fantasy Six Pack's best place to find me on Twitter. DMs are always open. Hit me up.
It's a good show.
All right, Mike, how about yourself?
You can find me at @BeLike_Mike with 2 I's. I actually just got promoted to social media.
Hell yeah!
Guy for Fantasy Six Packs. You're going to be seeing some polls coming out. And maybe some cool polls. Maybe we'll
all the polls.
We'll see, man. We got all the polls.
We're definitely gonna find some cool ways to engage our fans.
Yep, we're figuring it out.
All right, AJ, where were you showing up late to this NFL season?
I am at Apple Garth Algar, as you can see on the screen over here. Was pretty good, actually. Pretty impressed with myself.
Not bad.
The best thing that I've done this week.
Did it right? You did it right?
You're like
there we go. We're muting Joe.
Yeah. You just got -6 points from Tony Reale. Pretty much you can find me on Fantasy Six Pack Hour podcast. Occasionally I will delve into some, article writing and drive Joe nuts because it takes me forever to do that too. Bob, I will possibly be looking into that list. Did somebody take the tight end quarterback? It looked like somebody has that one. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Dylan had that. So, way to go, Dylan! Screwing up my spot.
Nah.
Just kidding. So maybe I'll pick up an article or two here or there. Otherwise,
gracing us with your presence.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm here. So I'm clean shaven. Got sort of another new setup because that's what I do.
Yeah, and we'll see you Thursday, obviously, with the Fantasy Six Pack Hour, where you rightfully take your spot back so I can eat during the entire podcast.
Thursday.
No, I'm not going to meet you. Okay, we're bringing Joe back on. Joe, any last words before we wrap up this thing?
I just want to, remind everybody the whole point of this is to raise money for MS. Unfortunately, something that I was diagnosed with 6 years ago, and I guess fortunately something that I have not had to deal with big time. I know lots of stories, and I've heard lots of stories that it's been bad, so it's hard to say because I haven't had to deal with it, fortunately. But I appreciate everything that you can give, even if it's 50 cents, guys. Like, just throw it in there. It's on the ticker, fantasy6pack.net/donate. So appreciate everything you can do. I love you guys, and appreciate you guys watching.
All right, guys, for Joe, for Davis, Bob, Mike, AJ, all of our guests who kindly took their time to join us tonight, thank you. Good luck with the rest of your Scott Fishbowl drafts, unless you're going against one of us. And we hope for a lot more.
That's what Dan with Dopp in my league.
Yeah,
so.
Especially,
Screw off!
follow the hashtag SFB11 for everything during the season. See what the guys are talking about as the draft goes on as well, too. We will see you Thursday. That's the next podcast through the Fantasy Six Pack Network.
Yep.
With the Fantasy Six Pack Hour, we go back to our NFL division previews. So until then, enjoy your night and happy drafting.